soldier. Give me space and I'm in a good place. Very serious, mysterious, mind makes right. In for the fight. Starlight out on. Starlight out on. Starlight outlaw, cosmic soldier. Give me space and I'm in a good place. Very serious, mysterious, I make right. In for the fight. Starlight outlaw. Starlight outlaw.
What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? I am here mainly to just say hello and to produce content daily again, to be friends with the algorithm once more. So, give me 1 second. I heard somebody come in. Is that you, Landry? Let me see real quick. Is that you, Landry?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Landry? How you doing,
Who the
buddy?
fuck do you think you are, dude? It's Saturday and you think you can be positive? Are you kidding me?
Abso-fucking-lutely. We can always be positive any day.
That's a good point, dude. I was gonna do a whole bit, but I mean, I can't even fake it today.
Fair enough. I mean, we may be going for 10 minutes, we may be going for an hour. I just want to be positive and put positive vibes out there.
What's the weather like in Georgia?
It is actually quite sunny. It is about 60 degrees. Tucker has had a good walk. We will be going outside and playing fetch a little bit later after the stream before it gets dark.
I know, man.
So,
do you partake in like tobacco?
This is the third day that I have not had a cigarette or a vape.
Oh,
I'm trying to quit all
it's an
nicotine.
ongoing issue. Okay, I see.
I'm trying to quit all nicotine, regardless if it's vape or cigarettes.
Oh shit!
And it the like first and a half day was like a massive fucking headache. Not even gonna lie to you, it sucked.
Well, that is good to know. That I got to redirect that energy somewhere else. But I'm trying to get started.
Are you trying to quit as well?
No,
are you trying to get started?
I never started.
Well, I mean, there are some medical benefits to smoking tobacco, to be honest. Tobacco does increase testosterone. It does help alleviate stress. The issues with nicotine comes with the chemicals that we ingest and not being pure tobacco. And as far as it being like nicotine in general, just nicotine, it fucks up your blood vessels. It thins them.
There's always something though, right? I mean, everything in life is a trade-off.
Well, yeah, everything's give and take. You know, you eat too much food, you end up a fat ass. You take too much medicine, you wind up fucking foaming from the mouth and ODing. Everything good has its limits, like even alcohol.
I mean, people who live a long time often are not really even doing that great. You ever go to like a hospital and just see people walking around living?
Well, as you age, your cells begin to break down, and depending on what cells they are, they can really fuck you up.
Dude, I saw this fat woman like on the ground laying down next to a hospital yesterday. I swear she looked like she was going to be there for forever. She just settled in. She was almost like a mattress-shaped person. It's very interesting. But a lot of people, yeah, they just sort of give up and they just take whatever meds they're given and they say, okay, this is healthy. But it's all, it's more manly to go out like, dying from nicotine, I think.
I have noticed that. And I've done this myself. A lot of people in this day and age just give up.
They do. Like it's very, very blatant.
Give up on themselves. and it's just like it's hard as fuck, and like some things have happened to me in the past 2 years that has made me like, nah, fuck that, fuck being like this. Change can be can be for the good or it can be for bad, but what matters is how you react to it. And I'm doing everything I can to remain positive. It is hard as fuck to be positive in my current situation, but with everything bad that has happened, the good thing is my dog survived 15 minutes in that fire somehow. I don't know how, with minimal injury. I've had a
That was the part
community.
that had me. No fucking way, dude. The dog part. That's where I was most hesitant to believe it because it was like a superhero film.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I got my mom out, and I went back in to grab some stuff, and then the dog followed me in and started trying to pull me out. And like I was following him around trying to get him out, but the fire was spreading. And then I just left, and like I lost my fucking mind. Like I hit the ground on my knees, like I was crying. I ain't gonna lie to you. I left my boy in there. I felt like a coward. And then my aunt told the firefighters they were just gonna let it burn down, but then my aunt told the firefighters that he was still in the house, and then they went in and he got out, and like I couldn't tell. I don't know if I had smoke damage on my eyes, but for like a week I couldn't tell he was injured. And I was petting on him, cleaning him up. I just couldn't see it. I felt stuff that felt weird, and I was rubbing antibiotic salve and burn cream on him just in case. But after that week, I seen how it looked, and I'm like, damn, he did get burned, but it still wasn't bad. And like on his left paw, he has a burn across his paw, which is the worst burn that he sustained. And how he survived, because it took 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes for the fire department to get there and put out the fire. And he was in there for that.
How? So you're you're in like the suburbs, right? Not really rural.
I live, it's funny, it should be the suburbs, but I live in a very small town, and I live right outside the city limits. And like right past my house, there's like woods for miles. So
kind of like a weird blend. I mean, I see it some places like that.
It's weird, and you really only see it in the South and Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, I find anything can be interesting. It's weird, even if it's kind of boring. I just love looking at new things. You know, you ever go like traveling and then you just see sort of the same shit every time you take that road trip, and it doesn't fulfill you. But if it's a new one, even if it's just boring dirt roads, it's like, well, that's a new dirt road. I've never seen that one before.
I feel you. Like even in my town, right? I like driving and taking roads that I haven't been down in a while or I've never been down, and just cruising. And then the same thing when I take my walks with Tucker. I like exploring and going see shit. Like there's like the woods behind my house. Even as like from a child to a grown man, I was always exploring those and hopping fences and walking down creeks.
Yeah,
and
dude, it's. I mean, there's so many little hidden corners. Like if we're just on the pavement all the time, well, I'll take that back. If we're on the roads, going, I mean, highways or whatever, because they coordinate it to be, fastest point A to point B, and then everyone's in the same straight line. But then there's all the other space that gets neglected, and that's why this adventure, like with the scooter, has been like it's like unlocking a new map in a video game.
Plus, it's fun. Plus, it's fun to ride the scooter.
It is fucking fun, dude. It's very much. I get motorcycles now too.
I don't understand how people get locked in that I'm an adult and that means no more fun ever, only work. Because like I take care of my responsibilities. The people that I know that have the mentality of my mentality, like people that act the same as I do and have kids, they take care of their responsibilities. But we somehow find time to also have fun. Yes, it's not every time we want to have fun we go and do it because sometimes we're busy. But like me and my homie,
every time.
I used to work 12-hour shifts at a warehouse.
Oh
my homie used to work 12-hour shifts at a sawmill.
Sounds horrible. And I could barely do 8 hours at the warehouse.
Well, that's the thing, and then I switched jobs to the sawmill because it was slightly less work for slightly more pay, believe it or not. And like either way, we were both working 12-hour shifts doing kind of labor intensive tasks. Well, when we got off work, we worked night shift typically, and when we got off work, we were bored, didn't feel like going to sleep because it was a 3-day weekend. We went and hopped the neighbor's fence and walked down the creek, and we found like these intake drains that were fucking massive that you could literally walk inside, and it was like it looked like from the bottom of the creek it looked like cliffs, and like it was very cool to explore and find. Like my neighbors, they know us quite well, and I've done this since I was a kid. Like we would go and hop fence and walk for miles, and then we'd find ourselves in a cow pasture and just walk up and pet cows, and then have to run like a motherfucker if we ever saw a bull, and that was when we were kids. Luckily, we never got caught by said bull, because that would have ended up horribly.
Yeah, but bulls are okay, but bison, man, buffalo, whew. Those are wild, man. Just to look at, just to stand
y'all
next
from
to.
Texas. Have you ever been in the same pen as a longhorn?
A pen? I've never been in a pen at all.
Really, you've never.
I mean,
when I say a pen, it could be a large acre ranch, like hundreds of acres. Just have like a
man. I don't have that sort of those connections. Those people are like the ultra wealthy. I mean, the people with the longhorns, they just sort of have them. Like, yeah, look at them. But I got my majority of wildlife interactions in South Dakota and Colorado. I mean, I've murdered, RIP to the elk, but I accidentally, killed it when I ran it over, and that was brutal.
Oh no! Don't say that. Snafu will drag you about it.
I was in the car at that time. I'll tell you that. It was only me, and that shit. I mean, dude, it's crazy, man. Because nobody, you don't get in trouble for killing an animal like that. You just,
it just happens.
Yeah.
Let me say hello to the comment. What's up, Chaos Queen, Christos, the Panelverse, Crazy Mama, El Perro, So Mean Christine, Miss Cynthia. How are you doing? How's everybody doing today? Today we're trying to be positive. We might not be going for that long. It could be 30 minutes, could be an hour, could be 2 hours. Well, it ain't gonna be 2 hours. I want to take Tucker outside and play fetch with him before it gets dark. But I just want to put some positivity out there. Me and Landry are having a fun little conversation, and anybody is welcome to hit the panel.
You've gotten better, man. You used to come on here just fucking fire it up and just be like, I don't know, like a floating bag of air. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't really say much, it's no problem with it. But I feel like I talked to you more this week than I did the entire 4 months before.
It depends, right? Because if I'm doing a stream that has a topic and I want to get people's opinion, I know my opinion. Y'all can surmise my opinion based on my beliefs. I want to know y'all's. I want to know where we agree, where we disagree. So I tend to let people talk. But when it comes to being positive, when it comes to explaining things, I'm going to be talking more. Because the thing about my experience with the fire and with the past 2 years is I've realized you really got to meet people where they're at. You got to work with people. You've got to take time for yourself. One of the things that suck about the past month is I have taken no time for fun. Everything has been busy, to the point that I feel bad for the past 2 days. I've tried to install some games on my laptop, and I feel bad for taking that time. But then, I was meditating and praying and chilling last night, and it's like, you need a little bit of entertainment and relaxation, or your brain's gonna pop. It helps you put things in perspective. You just don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
And I've been busy thinking about the rebuild, thinking about how I can make money, worrying about my mom, worrying about Tucker, worrying about literally everything but my own peace of mind.
You ever look into human design?
I have not. Let me address this comment real quick. Don't stay long or it won't stay positive. Crazy Mama, that is where I agree, but I disagree. Because if you are a man and you know how to control your life, you know who and what to do and what to get rid of to keep it positive. I'm to the point where anything that hurts my mentality, and I don't mean to sound like a liberal, like everybody's toxic, because God knows I can be toxic. Anybody can be toxic. But when it comes to people that just destroy the mood, you got to cut them loose, tell them get the hell on.
I don't know, man. I think that before we go into that, you got to tell me one thing, man. Were you
I
in
know
the
that people are
car?
going to try, madam. I was in the car. I was there.
Yeah,
but no, like you just have to say fuck these people and don't care what they say if they want to take your positivity. Like I have a family member that is by and large more negative than I am, to the point that it's self-detrimental. It's not just like they're upset because of some of the stuff they've been through. They're just negative, really bad. And I had to tell them today, like, I'm not going to talk to you for right now. I'm not going to let you destroy my peace of mind and my positivity, because negativity is fear. And we've all watched Dune and read Dune. Fear is the mind killer. Negativity is the mind killer. We have to remain positive and we have to push through by hell or high water. Even like suffering maketh the man, in my opinion. But I'm talking a bit too much, Landry. Let's get back to our conversation.
No, man, I can take the passive role. You know, I can. I'm very fluid. You know, I'm like water.
Well, I mean, I just think struggle maketh the man.
I agree, though. I really, really do, man. I think that sometimes you really need a good kick in the ass, but not in the way that I see most people go for it. Most people, like my biggest pet peeve in life and in online spaces is repetition. I'm not an animal, and I guess we kind of are, but I don't need to hear it again. Once it's been heard over and over again, and I don't understand an audience who seeks that out, right? Yes, tell me the same thing, repeat yourselves, yell it again and again over each other. Oh, yep, say it over and over. And I'm not talking about making the same point twice. I'm talking about just over and over and over and over again, trying to just drill a hole. It's like, dude, that is the worst shit in the world. Positivity, man, it can be just as influential as negativity, but people are going to come harder in the beginning, right? They're going to get mad first. It's not going to be easy, but you'll get there.
I agree. That's you, Chuck.
The metaphorical.
It might be. It might
He's
not
here
be.
to tell us if we can go fuck ourselves with the 12-inch rod.
There you go. You got it.
I feel what you're saying, Landry, because, and like you said, it's not that you make the same point or you have a way that you live and you're trying to talk to other people about it. It's when you repeat the same shit over and over and over again, especially when it's irrelevant or it's just dragging somebody or it's just trying to pick fights or it's just like the negativity aspect you was mentioning.
Yeah, it's boring. It's like if I can predict it, then why don't I just write it and make it into a screenplay?
That's what 90% of YouTube is, isn't it?
But that's what 90% of humanity is, but it shouldn't be that way. Like, part of the reasons I choose the political ideology I chose is the belief of the eternal struggle and overcoming the eternal struggle. Like, there will always be problems, but like I said, what maketh the man is struggle and how a man deals with that struggle. So,
and we used to have a lot more manly options, but now with the internet and computers, we're just sort of, all right, let's see what do we have left. We don't really have any dirt to put our hands in, but I mean, I guess we can just talk shit.
The growling arachnid. I did not see the Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. I did not. And to an extent, you're right. But I realized something about the West. Well, before I talk about what you said, let me say this. Struggle does maketh the man, but there comes a point where somebody has so much struggle, instead of building them up, it tears them down. And when we see people going through that, that's where the community and friends and people have to kind of grab them up under the arm and lift them up and share their burdens with them. And that's what I noticed that doesn't happen in the West and in the modern community. So I don't know.
Modern men, dude. Lost.
Fair enough. But as to what you were saying about
you got some
men not having
trolls or spammers down there.
No, it's the Kick people.
Oh,
and people on Kick, some of the they're very toxic, and they're like, "The stream sucks. Come watch me instead." And I'm like,
"This stream sucks so bad. I'm watching it while I'm streaming."
Right?
Makes sense.
But no, I mean, no. That's the thing, Crazy Mama. There are some, and if you haven't gone through it, you won't understand it. There are some negative things that happen to people, and it happens so much and so often because of their environment that it just destroys them, and they see no hope. Trust me, I've lived it. I've risen above it quite a few times. I've also seen it destroy people. Not everybody is the same strength. That's why we have to help people. I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is sometimes you just can't rise above it alone.
No, it's true. I mean, that's if you have no one to pull from, no energy to draw from, and you have to go inward. Sorry, shit, I said it.
There's that inward.
Damn it. You just, when you want to look within, and there's nothing, because you can blend positivity on your own, but if there's nothing happening in that moment, dude, it's gonna spiral.
Well, I mean, and no offense, crazy mama, but a lot of people in the West can't because we're ungrateful. We don't look inward. We don't see the help that we've gotten from others. We don't see the benefits that we have been born with. Right? And I'm not going to use the word privilege because it's not a privilege. If your family works hard to give benefits to the next generation, that's not a privilege. That's your family worked hard. And we don't see that. We think because of this individualism that gets pushed on us, we don't see just how much the outside world affects us and having somebody to lean on. And we tend to look past it. I've been through a lot and have had some help from some very good people that I see that I have overcome a lot by myself, but there were some things that I could not overcome by myself, and I had help. And it's still hard for me to accept help. It's hard for me to ask for help for those reasons.
Yep.
I'm the type of guy that if I ask, it was not even pride. If I ask for help, it's because I'm already drowning.
Well, there's a little bit of pride to it, though. I mean, it's that word.
Well, it's not pride.
That word is tricky because it's being proud of yourself can be very subtle, Because if I'm going about my life and nobody needs to help me, then hell yeah, I'm proud. I'm not like, yeah, I'm fucking proud. I'm just sort of default. But then the pride but I hear what you're saying.
Well, the thing about it is, right, for me, it's fear. I'll be honest with you, it's fear. It's fear of not being enough. It's fear of not working. It's fear of not. If I ask for help, I feel like I haven't exhausted every opportunity to better myself.
What do you need help with? Give me, top 3 things that could help you hypothetically. Just I want to know where you're struggling. We're gonna do it right here on the air. We're gonna work it all out.
Jack.
No.
Get him, Jack. Get him, Jack.
Hey, time.
No. We will not summon Jack Talcott right now.
Blessings.
You crazy mama, you do not sound bitchy. You sound like an honest person that's grown up in the West. Nah, she does not. Salute, Solid Snake. I love you to death. Yes, crazy mama, pointing out the obvious. Most people don't know struggle. They don't know weight. They don't know trauma. I think I agree with some of that.
Most people do. Of course, everyone's been through it.
But what I find is most people don't know how to deal with trauma, is what I find. Because once the trauma turns into emotion, people get lost in the emotion.
I don't think Red Crab is correct. I think it was true up until like 2020. I think we're shifting back a little bit.
I think it was true up until 2010. Like the 2008, the 2008 financial crisis was the end of the financial golden age for the West.
Yeah,
if you want to know my honest opinion,
there's obviously opt-outs. Like you can opt out of a lot of things. That you used to not be able to, but you are also a victim of the now. Whatever you're stuck in, like if you're in jail, you can't just not be in jail anymore. So
just simply look at the guard and say, no, I don't think I will be imprisoned.
And you see those people, the guards in jails too. They're in hell. They're themselves. They're not like happy walking there. Yeah, I'm a fucking prison guard. Woo.
Well, imagine having to swab another man's asshole after he's been abused. That is part of the job.
I didn't go to whatever gay jail you went to.
Well, I meant prison.
I did not go to prison. You're right.
And I didn't go to prison. I have a few homies that.
I've been to many prisons.
Did you bring your 12-inch rod with you?
I've been
You
to
had to.
state, federal, minimum, maximum. I've been a bunch of them.
Maximum prison.
Strictly as a volunteer visitor, not as an inmate.
I just want to chat. I'm just here to hang out, and maybe we can do a panel. Me and the prisoners.
I want to get some prisoners who snuck in a phone on panel one day and ask them. We do not sound like boomers. We sound like the exact opposite of boomers. People are a victim of their own autonomy.
Yeah, boomers say that things are better now than ever before. Crowd, what are you talking about?
So true. It's all in how you allow things to affect you. I mean, that's the thing. You don't always get to choose how things affect you.
But you get to choose how you respond to it.
Exactly.
I mean, shit, I've been highs and I've had lows.
Bug at? D4, I think, is busy. Tootie Bug is all I know for a fact.
It's D5 busy now.
Yeah. Tootie Bug is preparing for Christmas with her family, and God bless her. I do think I upset her with my talking about Beth, but either way, still love Tootie to death. She's done a lot to help me. If she is mad at me, I hope she can forgive me. But I do not take back what I said about Beth. And I didn't say anything that bad. I didn't drag Beth, just like I didn't drag Sarah. I just noticed a repeated pattern of behavior with Beth. And in the sake of positivity, trying to help somebody look at that and move past that was all I was trying to do. I even invited Beth to the show. But still love Beth, still love Tootie, obviously love D4. And everybody's still welcome over here. I think the link is pinned as well. What's up, Sasquatch? Welcome to the Positivity Show. How are you doing today?
Being dropped by nightbot.
Oh God, not this guy.
You get over it. It's okay. Growing like a fungus.
I don't know, dude. That's the thing is, people are very people react very strongly online. A lot of the times, you can dish out sort of a vitriolic fireball, and people will just say nothing. But then you throw a little soft, "Hey, what's up with Sasquatch?" Be like, "Whoa, dude, whoa, everybody, calm down." So things get blown out of proportion, man. I got no issue with Sasquatch.
Okay. Well, you can have your issues, brother. I'm not going to hold it against you.
I agree, but I'm going to have an issue with you, the next guy, myself. Issues come and go. Issues.
Enjoy them. I hope they work out for you. I hope you really enjoy your issues.
Some are better than others.
They make issues for issues.
Some people also don't have issues. Some people have fucking volumes and extended editions.
You're not wrong, bro.
El Perro, I am sorry. The link is now pinned. I thought I pinned it before I went live. I'm sorry.
New Hugh. Zerher.
All right, Ace Ventura, calm down. But no, like, I've come to find that, Andrew, you are right. Like, you can say the most heinous shit about people, and they just, like, shrug it off. But you mentioned a slight character flaw, and it be real, and you've created a fucking enemy for life.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable. You know?
Is that you, good sir?
Is what me?
Oh, okay. I think that's
I'm still me.
No, I was using you as a security.
I'm getting tired. We need new characters, Little Lippy. Can we get a new clown?
Speaking of new clowns, have y'all fucking dude? I'm so sick and tired. Like, I don't really care for Stephen King's works, but I don't hate them. But the fact that I have seen it because of fucking Welcome to Derry premiering, and I have seen every other video that's popped up on my feed has literally been about Welcome to Derry or some it lore that they get fucking wrong. Not even,
yeah, no, this is a big retcon. I'm not a huge fan, but at the same time,
have y'all had that experience, or is it just me?
It's just you. Here's the funny thing. I actually went looking.
I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it.
Is it possible that you might have tapped on a couple of clown chicks?
What is
that is very possible, but that's not what happened. See, I'm an art hoe and I love culture.
It's art now.
I love culture. I'm an art hoe. I love culture. I love.
This was a cultural swipe, right?
I love literature. I love theater. I love artwork. I love video games. I love stories. So
and you love
pop culture is all throughout my timeline. Well, clown bitches is hot. Hold on, let's see if I got it. Because apparently all my stuff was saved in my cloud, and I've recently downloaded it. But the one that I want to show here isn't here. Tragic, sad, even.
Tragedy. It's all my fault. It's okay.
You know that meme I showed the other day where it was attractive clowns and it's like cult seeks to make clowns less scary and more attractive.
Just give them some big babies and long legs and a short skirt. You're good, bro. Telling you, it's just like anime chicks. There's no difference.
I have one for that. Boom. I used to harass Bumpkin with that one.
Dude, I had a buddy of mine who clipped the lollipop girl from the GTA 5 intro, right? And he sent it through AI 9,000 freaking times to get 9,000 different bitches doing exactly the same thing.
That's funny. I got this one for Landry. He said he wanted to start smoking.
Oh, Lucky Strike. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go full conservative. I think I'm tired of being a fence sitter. I'm going to be a smoker, truck driver. I got to change my voice.
This pleases Gorlock.
I got to get
how that works out for you, bro.
What do you think? You think it ain't going to work?
But now there's just one issue with being a conservative.
What is that, punk?
You can't let AI do your thinking for you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, let's do this, right?
We're going to check AI and see what it has to say.
Hold on.
Dude, I love it.
These are all my 8
my answers.
All right. That's all. That is on average what goes through my head. Very simplistic politically.
See, that's what I would love to challenge that, but I know this is the peaceful stream, so I got to keep it peaceful.
I mean, you can be it's not peaceful; it's positivity. You can challenge it, just don't be negative.
Well, I'm curious, like what it means. I'm curious. Well, I want to know, what it means for, because if I'm having a debate with you, right, and I pull up like OTW did with Jaren. Hold on one second, let me get the answer real quick. That's one thing, but as far as letting it think for you, what would that entail?
Oh, that would be you and Sasquatch, because I didn't make the claim that.
I know you didn't. I'm talking to Sasquatch.
Okay, yeah, here you go. You two can have.
You were talking. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What was it?
Oh, okay. Well, were you looking at AI?
No, I'm playing Fallout 4 over here, building my settlement. So,
what does it mean to let AI think for
AI?
What does it mean to let AI think for you?
Mm-hmm.
That is a retarded question. So that's what it means. Is you ask questions like that.
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, as a mediator for this conversation, I will say that's not a retarded question, in my opinion. Right?
There are
because
people that do.
There's several ways that you could let AI think for you. You could.
I agree. Any of them are bad.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. But I'm not the one that's discussing it.
Most people plugging things into AI don't understand what they're even asking it.
Well, of course, that's why they're asking it, is to try to get an understanding of it. I grasp that much of it. The issue I have is whenever they receive an answer for a loaded question, and I'll give an example. Why is bodybuilding not gay? That is a loaded question. It compels the large language model to defend a particular stance and then utilize that assumption for it.
Correct.
And that is a very glaring issue, I think, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's so swayed that way. It is almost
Yes.
impossible for it not to go biased right off the rip.
Right, and that's what I was
Great.
speaking
Okay,
of. But
so me and you are in agreement. It is bad to let AI think for you.
But it can be a thinking optimizer where if you're talking data, I mean, it can do things with data that the human
I
brain
think
can
you're
never do.
misspelling the word. You're mispronouncing the word propagandizer.
No, because this would be if it was political.
Oh, no, just no. Before any consideration of what I said, you just say no first, right? Is that because you've thought it out clearly and considered all aspects and maybe even conversated with a few people who have opinions?
In this
Or
topic, I think
because you
so,
made
yeah.
a decision and you're going to go with that decision regardless of what the opposition says?
I would have to question whether or not this might be a case of projection, but in the case that it's not, I'm saying no because I think that of all the topics online, this is a hot one, and I think I've spent more time than most people finding the nuances in it. It's easy to be the guy who just plugs in, oh, what did I think today? Oh, yes, tell me I'm pretty. Oh, okay, I love you, AI. But as far as, handling massive quantity of data, it's not going to be biased. If you tell it not to think about anything else except for whatever book you wrote, if you write a book right now, sit down, write a book, 100 pages. All right, AI, only pull from this. It won't even think the rest of the internet exists. So how is that biased? Well, it is biased.
I get that, but the precepts of the programmers are built into the artificial intelligence as a large language model for your procedural choice of words that you prefer is the bias that's built in.
bingo.
Well,
And
that's
what I was getting at.
People to
is
say
the
when it
language.
hurts.
And that's what I was getting at is the language. When you don't know the language you're using and you start asking questions in Babylonian style questions, like was just mentioned, bias questions and leading questions and stuff like that. That's where the bias comes in. It's your bias.
I would argue that it is almost impossible not to ask leading questions when attempting to garner information. Now, as you were saying, in huge statistical models where it's being utilized as a statistical tool, there's less chance of bias there because the bias would be built into the data sets, not into the AI necessarily. However, we're not talking about AI in general. We're talking large language models, and that's what we're specifically speaking of. And that's a little different from general AI.
And that's why I talk about, and I haven't talked as much as I should have, but training your AI. And when we think about training the AI, it's not about asking it questions for response. It's about putting in data elements and asking it or telling it to show you. See, I don't ask it questions. I tell it to show me the information on this, both positive and negative, pros and cons. And then I get to go through the research and I get to develop my bias according to those pros and cons. Otherwise, most people put in a bias already and the AI has to go on that.
Well, but it's already biased from the start.
Well, that is true. And hold on, let me do this. United Polaris says Sasquatch is right. All these AIs are hard coded to have certain leftist or libertarian propaganda in them.
I think that this is where the word AI becomes limiting because it's like the word food. There's so many different types of AI that y'all are talking about. Just what GPT, the little pop-up thing. Hey, do this for me.
I made the distinction. You're not going to be able to beat me down with this one because I made the distinction between general AI and large language models.
That's still two. It's still two different varieties. There's,
let me also point this out. Like Miss Cynthia, I don't know if she's being serious or messing with you, Landry, but you absolutely can put in transcripts of people's conversations and what people say, along with details of their actions into AI and get a personality profile. Because at the end of the day, humans act in a semi-logical manner, meaning while they may act illogical, that things that they do has a logical reason behind them. If you look
it's
close
amazing.
enough.
It's amazing.
And you can get a psychological profile by doing that.
Do you believe it? Do you believe that psychological program issued by an inhuman entity that prefers words that you prefer?
Do you believe the one that gets issued to you by the doctor and puts you on antidepressants for the rest of your life?
No, I don't take antidepressants.
So I think I'll take this one any day of the week because it's.
I won't accept either as gospel, but I will.
They're not even diagnoses. It's just sort of like behavioral patterns.
Yeah, that's what I was
But-
gonna say. I will take the literal analytical machine that is designed to.
You can also have fun with it.
You're
You can just
you're
you
muted,
can make it a
Sasquatch.
bitch. You can say,
I was
hey,
just agreeing with you. I was trying not
be
to
a
interfere.
huge
Yes.
bitch to me, AI.
The
Tell me
analytics-
I'm the worst.
Analytics of the machine might be an acceptable tool to use, but it is not something you should establish your entire foundational principles on.
Correct. I don't validate either one of them. I validate myself through my actions. All that other stuff is people seeking that outside validation, like this here, the positivity. See, validation has the element of positivity and negativity, because it's valid to say that Dale Earnhardt Sr. died of his addiction. You understand that?
That's
There's
propaganda.
you understand the negativity in there, but it still stands as a true and correct statement.
Well, and there's propaganda in the spaces online that are
And everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like last night I was listening to somebody, I think it was Sovereign Dave, and I heard him.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I heard him slip into the script, right, where he's going into script mode. And what I mean by that is I've heard him say it, others say it. Oh, you go to the grocery store and people just talking about the weather. They're just NPCs, and I'm like, okay, he's in script mode, right? But all the world's a stage, but you're in script mode. You know what I mean? So I think that I don't know, man. I guess my issue with AI.
That's what I don't get. Why all these quote unquote wannabe. Go ahead, Leonard.
No, go ahead.
Well,
All of these quote unquote wannabe free thinkers calling everybody NPCs. Like, what do you talk with somebody that you don't know? You break the ice. You talk about the weather. You talk about the things that are actively affecting people to get to know them.
I like that more than the cold shoulder.
Well, you're NPCs, you don't think, but yet these people repeat the same shit over and over. Go ahead, Sasquatch.
Have you encountered a avowed NPC, someone who actually states succinctly that they do not have an internal monologue? Have you met one of these people?
You might be the closest thing to it, Sasquatch.
No, I haven't. And I don't think that they understand what they're saying. I think everybody has an internal monologue. They just don't have the ability to
The monologue is different for these people. It's more abstract. They think in 3, sometimes 4 dimensions. It's hard to explain whenever you have an internal monologue. But I spent 2 hours one night questioning this chick, and I couldn't find a chink in it. I might not be the best person to do it, but you know, I tried, and she didn't seem to be putting on or anything. She just thought some of the questions I asked were completely unanswerable because it was about hypothetical things that may or may not be able to happen or did not happen. Things like that were, and it didn't matter how you phrased it. If it involved having a retroactively predictive concept, she would stumble over it, right?
There's a lot of people that cannot do the what you just, damn it, the word just left me.
Now ask yourself.
Hypothetical.
Ask yourself if there is a cross between IQ and an inner monologue, and the answer is yes.
Sure.
And it's funny because I found a video perfect on these type of conversations. Did you know that in Europe it's illegal to test genetic IQ?
Yes, because of reasons. Have you watched History Debunked?
No, I haven't. I gotta find that video.
All right. A couple of about 6 months ago, he went on this really strange archaeogenetic tangent on his channel. Now, typically, he's exposing the differences in cultures and ethnicities and stuff like that, right? Just the cultural foundational belief differences in languages, stuff like that. It's very technical, very highbrow. Simon Webb's the name of the creator. And he went on this weird tangent on his channel for a little while that I thought was real strange at first, but then he eventually brought it back around to the differences between not just the cultures, but the actual genetic makeup of the individuals involved in the cultures, right? And we're going beyond blood type on this one. Have you got your video up?
No. You finish your thought.
Okay. What he was making the point on with all of this weird, seemingly racist stuff, because he was looking at ghost populations inside human genetics and specific haplogroups spread across the surface of the world, and how these people adapt and innovate throughout time, right? I was looking at some of this as part of my curiosity thing that I've been trying to work on, but it seems that there are specific alleles that are directly associated with risk taking, and these risk taking alleles are found more in the northern hemisphere than they are near the equatorial latitudes, or in the southern hemisphere for that matter. But these risk taking alleles are part of what's referred to as a double tandem structure, which is the same type of structure that make dogs, not wolves, right? So the argument that we're a bunch of inbreeding cave dwellers in Europe might have a grain of truth in it somewhere.
Sweet home Austria. Coming home.
That wasn't where I was going. I didn't expect to land there, but go ahead.
So this video is by Basic Logic. It's a 3-minute video, and it basically is talking about something similar to what you were talking about. And this guy tries to not do like the white nationalist and like ethno-nationalist talking points. He tries to talk about it purely from a scientific basis and how culturally and politically you're not allowed to study IQ.
You might have seen this graph before, which shows troubling differences between populations. So the question becomes, why the disparity? There are 3 broad explanations: structure, culture, or genetics. But we're only permitted to openly discuss 2 of them. One has become the enforced dogma of elite institutions, one is tolerated as folk wisdom, and one is so restricted it can't even be openly studied. This isn't a search for truth, it's a managed conflict designed to be fought in a voting booth instead of resolved in a lab. Structuralism, championed by academia and corporate policy, claims disparities are solely the product of systemic racism and oppression. Poverty, biased institutions, and historical trauma cause lower IQ and bad outcomes. The solution is to dismantle and rebuild society. It removes agency from individuals and groups, placing all responsibility on an amorphous, often invisible system. Supporters point to well-documented histories of discrimination and the compounding effects that those can have across generations. Politically, this theory aligns closely with modern neo-Marxism, which reinterprets society through identity-based power dynamics. Culturalism is popular with the public, but marginalized in elite circles. It claims disparities stem from group culture. Values, family norms, and attitudes toward education and work are seen as the primary drivers of outcomes. A bad culture produces lower IQ. The solution is assimilation and personal responsibility. Supporters highlight groups who succeeded despite discrimination, attributing it to strong cultural norms and work ethic. Politically, this theory sympathizes with colorblind meritocracies, where individual agency is favored. Geneticism claims average innate biological differences in cognitive capacity and behavioral predispositions explain the gaps. Here, lower IQ is the cause of cultural and socioeconomic problems.
Yeah, I was going
I
to
want you to back that 3 seconds, 4 seconds up of that single sentence of what he's saying.
All right, let's go.
Here, lower IQ is the cause of cultural and socioeconomic problems, not the result.
Is that it?
That the one where he said the $10 words all in a row.
It argues dispositions average innate biological differences in cognitive capacity and behavioral predispositions explain the gaps.
That one.
All right, just let it play from here. It'll come up.
Here, lower IQ is the cause of cultural and socioeconomic problems, not the result. It argues that average biological differences produce different outcomes, and that environmental interventions have a limited effect. This position is not just criticized, it is illegal to research in many nations. Grants are impossible, careers are destroyed for pursuing it. Supporters cite the persistence of IQ gaps across time, geography, and socioeconomic levels, patterns they argue culture or structure alone cannot fully explain. Politically speaking, this theory favors fringe ideologies due to its suppressed status. Everyone can agree that structure, culture, and genetics all influence outcomes to some degree. The real debate is about which factor dominates. Academia wants to force the structuralist position down our throats. But let's be honest, it's not enough. The structuralist framework removes all agency and ignores that some groups face greater visible obstacles, yet outperform, while others enjoy visible advantages, yet underperform. These contradictions weaken a structural explanation. The argument relies on the existence of invisible, unfalsifiable forces in a system that can never be precisely measured or reformed. This, combined with the insufficiency of the structuralist and culturalist positions, has resulted in a radicalizing community of people that see the geneticist position as a suppressed truth. Without being allowed to actually study it and get into how structure, culture, and genetics impact a population's IQ, we're stuck in endless infighting. What do we fear more? Uncomfortable answers or a permanent political Cold War built on ignorance?
I actually like the way he tackles, and this is how it gets positive, Christine. I actually like the way that he tackles the argument of IQ based on genetics, and also admitting that it's nature, that there is some nature versus nurture, or some nurture there as well. Like
Right.
both the environment and the genetics. And that's why I say it's 50-50. It's not exactly 50-50, but that's why I say it, because it takes both.
Just the debate of nutrition, childhood nutrition on intellect or IQ is by itself an almost insurmountable obstacle to have in a political or cultural space, because everyone who's cultural centric are going to try to, like the feminist hammer, every problem is a nail. And so if you're a cultural zeitgeist type of person, you'll find a reason in culture for all of this to happen, when ultimately it could be boiled down in a lot of cases to childhood nutrition, regardless of what's going on in the household. I mean, yes, abuse and other stuff like that has effects, but I mean, all other things being neutral, nutrition through the developmental years is huge.
I mean, absolutely, I agree with you. Here's the thing. That's why I always say I'm a geneticist over an actual racist, or a eugenicist over a racist, because when you practice eugenics, you have to look at things like nutrition, like how average people live. You can't just look at it from a genetic perspective. You have to look at it from a cultural perspective as well, because that can affect the data that you're researching when it comes to genetics. Like, for instance, natural genetic IQ and nutrition, how it affects one another.
Exactly. You're not wrong, but at the same time, the problem sneaks in when you have ideological people setting up the experiments to determine what's good and bad, what's positive and negative, what's in, what's out, what we do, what we don't do, what's moral, what's not moral. The ideology eventually takes over, and it's
well, that's why Flo calls me a libertarian, because that's where I agree with, like, the libertarian perspective of people should be free to do this research, and it should be people from all ideological backgrounds. That way we're getting the most accurate information, because we get what works from each and every study, depending on what idea, in the perfect world, that is.
right.
Because this guy went over
nationalist utopia of fucking chuds.
Well, no, in my perfect utopia of chuds would go exactly how you think it would go. It wouldn't get us the true answers that I want, actually. Because here's the thing, right? If you could uplift people by studying the genetics and the culture, and making slight deviations and changes in things like nutrition, things like designer babies, and things like adjusting of culture, I would prefer that.
Okay, and I'm sure you've watched Gattaca, right?
No.
Check out Gattaca. I can't remember. I think it was based off of like an Arthur C. Clarke book, or Asimov, or somebody like that. It was one of the big sci-fi guys back in the day. But the premise in Gattaca is designer babies. 20 years ago, designer babies were put on the shelf. and the people who could afford them went and bought them, and the other people just had to get by with what nature gave them. And there has since then, in the past 20 years, or actually it's probably a little longer than that, but in the past dozen years or so, there has been a different class structure that has emerged out of this CRISPR kid debacle, right? All these children are all 10 of 10s in virtually every desirable metric because they were designed that way. And along comes this dude who doesn't have any of the pedigree that the rest of these folks have, and yet he's able to compete on exactly the same level and has to fake his pedigree as one of these CRISPR kids to be able to work in the environment he works in. And he's quite good at what he does.
Is it the one where he's dating that blonde chick and he has bad eyes?
Yeah.
I've seen shorts on it. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the short on it.
First of all, to be clear, it is a very boring movie. Right? It's a cerebral kind of thing. It's not like chases and explosions.
Yeah, but I'm gonna like that type of shit, me personally.
So the thing is you'll watch the movie and be like, damn, why would somebody make me watch that shit? That's total fucking trash. And then you'll go to sleep, you'll wake up like, no, maybe not the next day, and maybe not the next day, but you'll come across somebody at Walmart and think, maybe gene editing ain't so bad. Maybe we could edit those bitches out of here.
Well, as an art movie, that I like really cerebral things.
But then you'll remember the movie and the plot of the movie, and you'll be like, oh, wait, no, it is bad because it takes direction out of nature's hands.
Yeah, but at that point, we'd be mastering nature, and we would be a force of nature. But
you're not a master.
The first half of this sentence is completely non-scientific and is based off left-wing bias in academia.
And Sasquatch bias. I happen to agree with the first half.
Well, I mean, why is it that globally, time and time again, the most attractive rated countries are women from homogenous societies? I digress. The only actual scientifically accurate part is it removes redundant genes. I will agree with that last part. And that's why it's absolutely necessary to have some level of it.
Yes. And I personally would like to field an all-girls soccer team.
The thing about it is, I mean, at the end of the day, we literally just have to strive for being better as humans, regardless of our ideologies, regardless of everything. Well, I mean, I'm an extreme chud nationalist, but my immigration policy is the hot ones can stay.
Right? Big Latinos for president. Fuck it. Like, let's get it on.
Oh, God.
I mean, basically, I'll tell you what, we'll take race entirely out of it. Here's what we'll do. We'll get us the cutout, like a literal shadow of a beautiful woman. And all of these women can be marched through and stand in the outline of the shadow. And if they can match it within like 92%, they're allowed to stay. Otherwise, they're put on the brakes.
The most scientifically accurate immigration status,
completely
immigration
blind
policy.
There's no race involved at all.
Well, I mean, not laws. And I'm not talking about you, but there are leftists out there like Melanie Cosmic Fox that wants to bitch and talk about shit like media literacy, right? And then if we're talking about Fallout, he will say, oh, Fallout's anti-capitalist, you're media illiterate. But literally Tim Kaine, the creator of Fallout, has come out in an interview and said that it is not a critique of capitalism.
Not intentionally. I don't think it was intentionally a critique. The Fallout 1 and 2 are different from the rest of the Fallout series. The rest of the Fallout series, you can make whatever you want out of it. Fallout 1 and 2 are a critique were at the time a critique in modern foreign diplomacy. How we're basically just throwing money at problems, trying to make them go away, and it's not working. So what would you call that? Is that a critique of capitalism? Kind of, sort of, a little bit, this much.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
an idea. We could do that. Some wet t-shirt contest at the southern borders. Winners get in.
Bumpkin said wet t-shirt contest at the southern border. Join the panel, Bumpkin. Yeah, butthead.
But that doesn't guarantee what's inside their head.
Bro,
You're just going by physical.
yes, exactly, by physical. But then when they get in, their behavior determines whether or not they get to stay. Once they start knocking over liquor stores and taking down 7-Elevens, it's on like Donkey Kong. That bitch got to go.
Oh God.
I thought this through a little
Oh,
farther
God.
than maybe I should have.
Well, I thought that was the
Bumpkin, join the panel,
process
but
they
if you got
use
time.
now.
Grippy stocks equals grippy box. I got you, fam. Hold on. This is something to live by. All right. Let me see. Crazy chicks was be so good. All that grip they lost on reality went to their coochie. That's the positivity stream.
That is way too accurate. I don't like
But
that.
and I'm sorry if I lose connection. We all know my we
Bye.
We
continues, but y'all.
there's no words to describe what he's saying.
There's no words coming out of his internet. It's made of pasta.
He has been consumed by the internet dragon.
Got him. They got him. They come and got him. They just took him down. In fact, I got a clip for that somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not come out blasting.
Hence, it might help to close too many tabs,
Well, I know.
therefore reducing bandwidth or increasing bandwidth.
Oh, that's a good one. Nice.
That's my how your voice
muting
is.
and unmuting over there, but we can't hear you at all, bro.
Close like 99% of them porn tabs, and it might help.
It's nothing to do with it. It's the shitty Wi-Fi
It is the shitty Wi-Fi
at the hotel.
fart.
It's the Indian Wi-Fi at the hotel.
It's the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Y'all just talk amongst yourselves while I get it fixed.
I am. I can totally talk to myself for the next, however long you need me to, I guess. I guess I took it out. Guess I erased it. I don't remember erasing it. That's wild. I got some of this. Oh, that's not it at all. My bad.
Styro staircase.
I'm a nasty nigga. I'm a nasty.
Can I clip this? I like Razala. He's fine.
Funny in more ways than one.
And I went and stole Joe Fool's laugh.
That should have more or less fixed it.
You sound better.
Awesome. I had to run some optimizations on my end and restart the Wi-Fi router in my room. So,
and that'll work until the next person in the room next door does his.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the internet's not that bad. It's just one that once there's a lag,
It is Saturday.
There's a fucking lag.
Everybody is off hogging the internet.
I was supposed to have a show here in a couple of hours, and I still hadn't got the link. I don't know if it's happening, and I'm like, dude, bro.
I heard that. I think this crazy weather changing has got everybody mixed up.
It does.
It does.
Wow. It do. I mean, it got so cold out here the other day. It was about 4 days ago. It got cold as fuck out in this piece. All the hookers were inside.
Yeah, it was.
Brother.
Day before yesterday was 65. And then in no time flat, it was 25.
Yes, we literally
He's
2 days
being
ago
consumed.
we had the water from the rain previous. We had the rain from the water freeze, and now it's 60 degrees.
Yep.
That is not
Right.
good for human behavior. Health.
I kind of like watching what happens, bro. Like people here in town, it's freaking wild. Like not a hint of anything resembling snow, but it got really fucking cold one night, and suddenly everybody's buying coolant.
This is the public service message, ladies. Keep them nipples warm this winter.
Oh, Lord.
So true.
You know, everybody asks me why I keep my house so cold.
Why do you keep it so cold?
Yeah.
Personally, I'm hot natured as fuck for one, and that's true. There's God forbid I take a couple of shots because I could be literally sitting in a snowdrift and steaming like a freaking reactor shooting shots.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's wild. There's a picture. I've been looking for it. I don't know who took it. I can't remember, but there's a picture of me asleep on this crappy ass old wooden fucking couch, and sitting on the heater next to me is a frozen glass of drink. It's frozen solid. It's broken the goddamn glass, and I'm passed out on the couch with one arm over my eyes, and there's steam rising off of me like fucking Niagara Falls. That whole corner of the room is a little cloudy, and it's like 21 degrees or something. I vaguely remember it. I'd been drinking for 4 fucking days. Somebody walked in and saw me making a cloud and was like, click.
Yep.
They got all 12 of them pixels on that flip phone going.
So I disagree with this statement. I would rather live in an eco-socialist world government, or I wouldn't mind an eco-socialist world government. I agree with this that climate change isn't a con.
Right.
Like climate change happens naturally, but the shit the socialists and the Green parties pushed is a con.
Yeah, it's dirty. It's funny money from the top to the bottom, all the way down. Let me ask you this. If you get a perfect battery, how do you charge it?
A nuclear would be the best option.
Hey, no, that's not green. You can't do that.
But that's the thing. It is green.
It is. I know it is. I know it is.
Not only that, you can continuously step down nuclear waste.
Yes.
In the fueling process.
And you know, I didn't know this until I came across this book at the library. I used to do a lot of volunteer work for the library here when I was growing up. And the lady she must have been fucking 9,000 years old or some shit. She got put down back when the mummy was a little kid, sat behind Jesus in 3rd grade type old. But she pulls me aside. I come over and they're having this big book sale. And I come over. This is fucking 20, 25, 30 years ago. And she flags me down when I'm riding by. She's standing outside. She sees me. She's like, hey. So I turned around and went back. And she's got this stack of books that she wants to sell me for 50 cents. They're already wrapped up. And I took them home. And I was utterly fucking tickled by this, although I feel like it might say a little bit too much about me. It was Gray's Anatomy of Traps, The Effects of Nuclear Weapons, and What Was Left of the Anarchist Cookbook. Now, the Anarchist Cookbook was stolen before I even got home. Like, I don't know who got it, but the very first person that saw that thing not being watched got jacked. Are you familiar with Gray's Anatomy of Traps?
No.
All right, so you're familiar with Gray's Anatomy, right? It's the quintessential anatomical documentation of not just humans, but various other species as well.
All animals, pretty much.
If it's got a muscle, he's dragged it out and drawn it. Gray's Anatomy of Traps is the same analytical approach to the concept of a trap. And there is a lot you can learn from carnival environments that applies to traps. Think about it. You got to bait, you got to push, you got to draw, you got to bark, you got to mark, and you got to sell it. If at any point in this, any of this fails, your trap fails.
And the point being,
So
Well, it's all the same.
side note. I just saw a video. We're not going to watch it because it's from a very popular channel.
really,
But they
That's
have found
interesting.
something faster than the speed of light. I believe that's proton particles.
well, that would be
I
the
don't know.
colliders that
No.
they've been using. Yes.
No, it wouldn't matter if it was the colliders. If it was subatomic, it wouldn't matter if it was faster than light. Those things do weird shit anyway.
I'm not sure what happened here.
I put you two on there because I'm running security. Vibe, is that you? Vibe.
That is me.
You're muted,
How you
Vibe.
doing?
Yep,
Job.
that is Vibe.
Do we have someone, Sheen? How are you?
Hello, from
Oh,
Ireland.
I know Sean.
I'm
I know
I'm
Sean.
the crazy environmentalist there,
Okay.
socialist,
He is-
whatever.
Well,
Yes,
there's
he
nothing.
is crazy.
In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with what you said, and I largely agree. I just think that socialists sell it in a way that is a scam instead of actually tackling problems that we face in our environment, like pollution, erosion, and natural rising sea tides. So that's my only.
Yeah, but
that's my only
aren't
contention with you.
Okay, hypothetically, if you're right, climate change is a giant scam. The solutions to the other environmental problems still require. The solutions to the other environmental problems like pollution, biodiversity loss, will require the same solutions for climate change as well.
I think
So
you're
even
looking at
hypothetically,
invasive species wrong, sir.
say that again. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I think you're looking at the concept of invasive species wrong. This isn't an invasive species. It is an rewilding experiment of nature.
Well, no, I'm talking about biodiversity loss. The wildlife has reduced by like 70% since the 70s. We're facing the mass extinction rate of species.
But they're
But that's not
finding new
because-
species all the
that's-
time.
That's not because of like climate change. That's because of human progression into their habitats. That's because we are directly destroying that, not climate change. We have to increase conservation and ecological
Okay,
studies.
let's say
In fact,
hypothetically.
well, we don't have to speak in hypotheticals because we know the causes of these things. Socialist left-wingers, in my opinion, are anti-human and push anti-human agendas for profit.
Well, let me ask
Well,
one
no.
question. Let me ask one
Okay.
question. Because as a
Yeah,
logical,
universe or Orthodox. Hey, I have it's all putting together
my
now.
gosh.
So I heard Chuck has been to prison a lot. No wonder he wants to fuck me.
so my one question is this: if it's already known that plant life feeds on carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and in effect puts out oxygen, and man breathes and lives on oxygen and puts out that carbon dioxide, wouldn't it make more sense to allow the environment more carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide?
Well, yeah, that's why global warming isn't
Not-
necessarily bad. If you look
Bingo.
in the,
Well,
Yeah,
if you look in the
not
past,
overrated.
hold on. If you look in the past, how do you think the dinosaurs got so big? Because there was
fluctuates.
so much, because the carbon
It
dioxide caused
fluctuates.
so much plant life to be formed that there was so much oxygen to allow these massive creatures to walk around with enough food to sustain them.
The issue with
And there
that
were
Yeah, but it's the
giants in
speed.
them days.
we are
Can I
destroying.
respond?
We're destroying. Yeah, yes, but let me say this, and then you have the floor, Sean or Sheen. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Sean.
I don't mean any disrespect by that. You guys, in my opinion, are correct. The problem is we are destroying forests, grasslands, and all of these
Yes,
things that
that's the
produce shipment of
concern.
oxygen at a huge
Deforestation is the concern, not the
rate.
not
Go
the
ahead, Sean,
o-
you have the
not
floor.
not the global warming. It's that we're getting rid of the rainforest. Like
Not
people don't realize that like there is so much life in the rainforest that we are getting rid of, and so many things you could make medicine that you could make. Dude, we are just dude, for no reason. That's the real issue. It's not the global warming. It's that you have too little oxygen being formed with the amount of carbon dioxide in the air.
Well, in the name of like the positivity stream, right? Imperius, El Perro, Sheen, Not Laws. Here's the thing. I think that we get so politically dragged down with our ideology that we talk past each other, because we, in essence, we're all talking about runaway greenhouse effect to the point where we produce enough carbon monoxide and dioxide to where, and we destroy enough plant life to where it's not being cycled into oxygen and it becomes an existential crisis. And that, I believe, is happening to an extent, especially with industrialization like China.
Yes, because of what? Pollution. Overall, what is it? It's overall pollution. You have a continent-sized trash heap in the middle of the fucking Pacific. The reason why China has to import 70% of its food is because most of its fertile land is destroyed with pollution of their own making. This is the issue. It's that, yes, pollution. You need to clean the rivers. You need to get rid of what is that called? What is that called? Sprawl. You have too much human sprawl.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like it's efficiency. It's efficiency and waste. It's not really even the United States. If you look at the US, if you had every other developing country like follow what the US guidelines are, the planet would be fine. It's that we don't have a moral high ground to tell these people you should be living like we do when we did the same thing developing. That's the issue that's hard to convince other people, because during the 20s and 30s,
the thing is we do have the moral high ground because we learned from our mistakes.
Yes,
the problem is, thanks to leftists and Marxism, they pull the moral high ground.
No, but like for example, to India. Like, it's hard for me to have a problem with India building like coal plants or gas-powered like petrol plants, because we did so much more of that during the teens, 20s, 30s, and 40s. And then during the 50s and 60s, we started to realize. But for 40 years, we were like the only nation pumping pollution. Remember, because of World War I and World War II, so much of industry and infrastructure was destroyed in Europe. We were the only functional economy that could produce all that. And then during the war, remember guys, we produced more in 1 year than every other nation in that war did during the whole war combined.
And that was on the backs of family farmers for the most part. And today we have the industrial farming, which is part of that urban sprawl that you mentioned.
You mentioned India, so I have to derail the show. You mentioned India, so
is that the shit drift? Yeah.
No, it's not the shit drift. This is the defecation in public.
Oh yeah, well, show them the shit drift in the ocean.
Yeah,
the feces, yeah, that thing in the Pacific or the Indian Ocean thing.
Go ahead, Opera. Finish your thought. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, yeah, and that agricultural sprawl from industrial farming displaces all that wildlife and the wild plants that they subsist on. This is all taken care of if we go back to the normal traditional style of family farming, where they're not so huge, and they also subsist on the natural plants in the surrounding, helping invalidate the pharmaceuticals for a large part as well.
Well, yeah, you're gonna avoid all the pesticides. You're gonna avoid all the artificial the artificial genetic GMO research that's done in all these.
I like to debunk a few of these. I'll debunk the CO2 part. Okay, the reason why scientists that I follow care about CO2, it's true, it is good for plants, but if you release too much of a good thing too quickly, like if you drink too much water, if you release CO2 too quickly, then nature cannot adapt, the climate gets really warm, and nature, there'll be a lot of extinctions happening.
But hold on. Do you know how much every day? Hold on. Do you understand how much deforestation goes on every day just in cities by mowing grass, cutting trees? All that's every single day. If you know if human beings didn't deforest every single day, within like a week, every city would be engulfed in plants. It's not the plant. It's not that.
It's not the speed. And it's not the
poop drift.
And it's not the speed. It's the density. When you compact all of that carbon monoxide release in one small spot, no plants will live in there.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't. To be fair, guys, I don't think hypothetically, if we all went back to the before we used fossil fuels. Obviously, we would hypothetically. Let's say we went back to the lifestyle.
Bro. It's not fossil fuels. No.
It is fossil fuels are the main release of carbon dioxide.
No, dude,
so
that's not the issue.
Then you just exchange it for the carbon dioxide exchange through natural fuels.
For natural, no, it's that you have a deficiency in oxygen
production. You guys think the heating is caused by the sun?
No, dude, no. You understand? Do you know that the ozone layer right now? The holes in the ozone are smaller than they were in 1994. So it has nothing to do with the sun. No, the problem is. No, let me explain. Do you know if we restored the Brazilian rainforest to its mid-90s size, this nonsense would be over with? It's that it's a balance like nature is. It's not the fact that there's more carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide can raise infinitely if the carbon dioxide balancing of plant life of flora, okay, is balancing that out. During the Jurassic period, there were no deserts, none. Okay.
Yeah, the CO2 was like 6,000 parts per million, something huge like that.
Yeah,
we're only at 450.
Because you had massive flora that balanced that massive amount of carbon dioxide with massive amount of oxygen production and carbon dioxide transition.
It was volcanoes. It was volcanoes in the ocean. Okay, the reason why CO2 goes up and down is usually to do with the Milankovitch cycle, the rotation of the sun around the Earth around the sun, and it's also to do with ice ages and
but that's also volcanoes. Yeah, no, I get you on that. Tectonic shifts and stuff is not tectonic shifts.
Absorb CO2 as well. The oceans,
tectonic shifts and supermassive volcano eruptions. Our humans cannot do anything in regards to that, nor can they do anything in regards to transitory ecliptical circular rotations around the sun that do change periodically over millions of years and billions of years. Human beings can never do anything in regard. Those things happen. For example, if that Yellowstone supermassive volcano erupts, that infinitely more carbon dioxide that will be released than human beings could ever release. Okay, that would be
nothing. I'm not sure about that because we've released a lot of CO2. We've probably used like
but have we
half of all the CO2 on the ground
we
already.
Released enough CO2 to create a nuclear winter for half of the world to where light does not shine.
And I hope you're not basing your argument on probably, because that's a insane.
And I'm not saying probably. I'm giving you fact. I'm
talking about Sean.
Oh, okay. I'm talking the eruption of that Yellowstone super volcano.
Thank you for coming, Sasquatch. Thank you for coming.
That eruption of that kind of that super volcano. People don't understand what that is. That's a cauldron.
What's up, Becca?
If I remember correctly, it's like that freaking cauldron is like 50 miles wide.
And it also is very well known that gases don't rise other than anything else. Temperature. Temperature causes gases
biggest
to rise
problem,
and fall.
the biggest problem with leftists trying to measure these cycles, like the carbon cycle, is we really only started measuring the carbon cycle and studying the past carbon cycles with core samples from the Arctic.
Yeah, you're talking about the
So they're
Volstagg ice
trying
study.
to
You're
trying
talking
to
about
measure
the Volstagg ice study where they drew 300,000 years, I think. They went back.
You're breaking up, OG.
Yeah,
I think
if
you're
you're
breaking up.
talking, it's not coming.
Hold on.
Well, anyways, hey guys, how you doing? I was really excited
What's
to see
up,
a
bud?
positivity stream here, so I figure I'd jump in and add positivity.
It got negative real quick.
Anyways, you know, yeah, it tanked pretty quick, but let's bring it back to something positive, right? I mean, obviously, half the species got wiped off the planet, the dinosaurs you were talking about, the Jurassic period, without any help from man. So this is something that happens on this planet, whether we're here or whether we're not, right? Now, if we contribute to it or not, doesn't really matter. There's an evolution of the planet. Maybe the planet wants us here. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see in the future. I will say we've gotten much smarter, and this is the positive side of everything. The first world countries that polluted the heck out of the world, started creating ozone holes, got smart and said, okay, you know what? We got to stop doing that. And we're getting pretty progressive about it. Now, we still have a lot of third world countries, and this is the only downside of it, because we're actually telling the third world countries they're not allowed to do what we did to gain our economic power, which was basically pollute the world by creating really cheap energy at the cost of the world. Now we're doing much better at that, but we're saying to the third world countries, well, you're not allowed to do that, because now we've all gotten smart. And even though we profited off of our pollution, we're not going to allow you to pollute. So we do have to figure out,
That's why we can't really say anything here.
How we lift the third world countries out of this poverty. And once we start doing that, and I think we are smart enough to do that, and it doesn't have to be a leftist side, it can be a right side as well, because we can actually get some economic growth out of that. If we can lift those third world countries, then we're going to start seeing a shit drift in the ocean, right? So it really is, at this point, if we want to preserve our economy and things like that, and we're figuring out how to do it in our first world countries, how we're going to do that economically in the third world countries. And
let's be real. Let's be real. It's one country. Let's be real. It's one country that's doing it. Let's not talk about the third world like Nigeria is doing.
Your volume's a little loud there.
Okay, let's not talk like Nigeria or Kazakhstan's doing this. Can we throw the element? It's China that's doing this.
Yeah, but I heard that the consumption of the Western world is causing a lot of their.
No, China's a third world country.
Well, it's not really third world countries.
No, but remember, third world doesn't mean economics.
I wouldn't even say that. China and
third world doesn't mean economics. The world scale doesn't necessarily mean economics, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the third, second, first world means it's more of a democratic scale. It's kind of like we look at it in a holistic scale. It's not like economics like we think, where you just go, oh, first world means France, Germany, UK, US. No, it like, for example, Singapore is a first world country. But why is it a first world country? Because it has social services, banking structure, it has foreign investment, like it has subsidized bonds and insured bond government.
Let Sean go. Sean, what's up? You have the floor, bud.
Yeah, so I have a problem reaction solution. So the problem is of biodiversity collapse. We all agree that nature is reducing. So the solutions to that, the best solution for that is a plant-rich diet. I know this is controversial now, trigger warning. Let me speak for 30 seconds. The reason why is because 70% of all agriculture is to feed animals, okay? So if we just ate like 50% less animal products, specifically beef and dairy, because they use the most land, all the deforestation, most of the deforestation in the tropics would be reduced because of reduction in meat demand. Okay.
What?
Yeah, because it's about energy. You know, when you feed a cow, it loses a lot of that energy from heat and maintenance, and in poo as well. So it's a physics thing. It's like from if you eat a plant, you use way less resources than if you eat the cow that ate the plants, because it's like the middleman kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about ethics. Well, to be fair, solving the nature part of biodiversity loss is an ethics thing. It's like you don't want to get rid of all of wildlife and replace it all with humans. That'll be cray-cray. Do you know what I mean? Which is what we're kind of doing inadvertently.
Look, the bioethics issue is like, see, the problem is we as human beings make things harder than it is for ourselves. Like, there's more than enough land to have free-grown animals and not have these industrialized farms. But the problem is people don't want to pay 50 more cents per steak. It's a very minimal thing. It's all balancing priorities and how you sell the influence to people. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we can solve all these issues, but people are more concerned with trivial things that occupy their brains, like who's banging who in Hollywood, what team is playing. Like, you have to understand, like, human beings don't want to solve the problems. Like, all these things we're talking about are easily solved. You can solve childhood cancer, you can solve all, but the thing is we're more concerned with things that make us emotionally feel good instead of actually change anything. Like, that's the real issue, and that's the entire system is built on, making people feel good and stealing your money.
Yeah, well, everybody feeling good can be positive too, for a positive aim. Obviously, you can feel good by doing bad things too. That's wrong. We get that. But I'm saying that animal agriculture, most beef farming is grass-based too. Hypothetically, if we were to change all agriculture into regenerative agriculture, organic, you need more land because it's less efficient. Growing corn and soya.
Hold on. The Central Valley of the United States.
Wait, what do you think you do to every land-based animal, every microbe, when you till up that soil? What do you think?
Yeah, dude. There's millions of organisms you're killing. Not just that, but hold on. Do you know that the Central Valley of California can produce enough food for the entire country? Do you know that? It is the most fertile soil in the world.
If you were to convert California,
no. Central Valley of California is the most fertile single land in the world for growing.
No,
that is why you can only grow those nuts there.
Competes with Iowa and
Iowa can grow. No, dude,
Yangtze Valley in China. Let me look it up.
Look at the production of the food, amount of food that can be produced. But you know why? You have two mountains. That is a valley. Iowa is not a valley. You have the Sierra Nevadas and the Pacific. Dude, how did the Central Valley of California get created? Two massive superstructures smashed together and created a valley. That is that is the largest fertile valley.
You've got the mineral runoff from the mountains and the rains.
Yeah, well, now it's that literally that impact and the creation of that valley created fertile soil in the beginning through the nitrogen and the carbon of that impact.
Yep. Well, here's the thing, not laws. I agree that we need to do, and I agree with Sean that we need to do more to have regenerative farming in these things. But cutting the production of meat and beef and protein, like meat-based proteins, is not the answer. You come off sounding like some fucking Klaus Schwab douchebag when you talk like that. Like, there are things, and like this is where people on the right will turn against me, because I'm not against the bug protein. I'm not against it. I think it should be an option in the market. I think the US should do more for aquaculture to grow seaweed, because it could be a good alternative to corn and starches.
Fake meat. Lab grown
meat. I'm not necessarily against it either.
And I'm personally against animal eating and I'm personally against using animal protein in their diet by recycling animals into other animals. That's what causes disease in the beef. So I'm all about regenerative health and ethics. Hell, I'm all about free range animals. Let them range. You can there's literally machines that plant as they eat, and you can make it more organized that you go till by till by till and actually replant so that by the time, dude, they have systems already in place. They do this on certain farms. I'm all for that.
Yeah,
but the problem is
that-
well, hold on. The problem is
I studied horticulture, and I'm a beekeeper, so I know the science of agriculture. I studied horticulture, and I'm a beekeeper. I'm just saying, hypothetically, it's about physics. 1 ounce of beef requires like 10 ounces of soy protein or grass protein.
What does one nut tree in California consume per water? How many liters of
Hold on. I'm about to blow this argument out of the way.
No, but I'm just asking. No, but I'm asking him the real question. No, hold on. But he's talking about. Hold on. He's talking about comparative for one plot of like how much a pound of beef comparative to this. What about nuts per tree? How much does one walnut in the Central Valley of California take of water to where you could wipe out that whole nuts? Because those walnuts are all a vanity food. It has no need.
Yes. Walnuts require irrigation from underground water, which is depleting. It's the same with animal agriculture.
It's infinitely worse, right? But it's infinitely worse, right?
The problem.
But it's about 10 times worse, though, right?
The problem with your argumentation is
you're not going after the biggest issue first.
Dairy in California requires more land and water.
Wait, hold on. The host is speaking. Give me 1 second. Shen, the biggest problem with your argumentation right now is the exchange rate whenever humans eat beef or proteins from animals. The nutrition value, the energy, and the carbohydrates we get are like 10 times what we would get from plant-based diets alone. I personally think I buy into you need fruits, vegetables, and protein. So I don't disagree with you to put more vegetables, more fruits, more plant-based options on the table. But this argumentation against animal husbandry and meat in general is retarded. And I think it is awesome that you are a beekeeper, by the way.
I'm not saying reduce. I'm not saying go vegan. I'm not saying go vegan. I'm just saying if hypothetically the poor countries were to eat the same amount of meat as we are in the Western world, there would be wildlife would be destroyed even more because
that's cultural.
I'm just saying.
But that's cultural. The United States eats more meat in itself than every other country in the world. That's cultural because we've raised cattle here in this country.
Right.
We're a cattle history country.
And they would learn to raise cattle and chicken and hogs and all of that. They would learn to produce what they need.
Remember, are you telling me that India eats the same amount of beef? Because they don't eat cows.
They eat
yes,
pork
but if they were to eat cows, hypothetically, the same amount as we do.
But they never will.
They would hypothetically. I'm saying hypothetically.
Because hypothetically, like I said, I could wipe out all the nut trees in Central California and put. Sorry.
You can't use hypothetical conversation when you're talking about real world problems. It confuses the issue and it makes it harder to come up with actual feasible
and it's a logical fallacy because in nature, it is not across the board that everybody lives the same style. So you have to give consideration for that. You're not willing to. Your hypothetical does not apply.
No, but if everybody wants to be the lifestyle of an American, okay?
But not even wolves or wild dogs or lions from different areas have the same predation.
And not even that because you're placating that all Americans are meat eaters and they're not. Oops.
Well, and not just that, but like, for example, people that live on the coast, like coastal countries like Japan, they don't eat meat that often. They have a history and a culture and a natural tendency for seafood. Like, have you ever been to Spain or Portugal? That's a lot of seafood there.
The oceans, I live in Ireland, right? The fishing industry has just collapsed.
And I get
all the fishermen are losing their jobs because they're overfishing.
I get
and now the EU 100%. Are stopping them from fishing because they've overfished.
But that's a different issue.
Hypothetically, if we ate loads of fish, way more fish, there'll be no more fish. So I'm just saying there's limits to nature.
There
Humans
is.
cannot go forever.
And Iowans,
and we have to reduce our demand.
And the Iowans make their own moonshine out of corn. Irish make their moonshine out of what? Potatoes.
Exactly. Different thing. Like the fish. Hold on. Why do you not have restorative fisheries? That's your government's issue. In America,
Yeah,
we'll never
we need
run out
more
of fish. Hold on, hold
regulations.
on. Do you know why in America
Well,
we'll never
no,
run
we
out
don't
of
even
fish?
need more regulations. You would need Ireland would need government
Yeah,
regulations to create fisheries and fish spawn,
and they don't want to do it.
fish aquaculture.
And they don't want to do it. So
Yeah, they
that's
don't.
their issue. They
Yeah,
fucked
but
themselves over. That's you guys.
aquaculture, we have fish farms, but the problem with aquaculture, it's not
No,
the
no,
best.
no,
It
no, no,
uses
no. Hold on. Do you have
antibiotics.
regulations? Hold on, hold on. Do you have regulations to where your government will fine people millions of dollars for not restoring fisheries? Because
Yes,
that's what we have in America.
We have regulations. We're trying to
Yeah, but
reduce.
are they
the
going to put? Are
overfishing.
they going to fine people million? Let me. Do you understand who the scariest agency in the United States is? It's the Park Service for the wardens. You don't know this. The wardens are because they almost have unlimited. If you take or fuck in America with natural lands or mess with it, they can fine you millions and take you to jail. It don't matter who you are. Bro, dude, there are 20 to 30 federal enacted laws, not the EPA law. No, I'm talking straight fishery laws, regenerative farming laws that every farm. Let me ask you a question. How did the government go after these poor Amish farmers in Pennsylvania? How were they allowed to do that? Because there's so many regulations about regenerative and health standards and everything that people have to farm, that they have to follow it. It's incentivization. Like you just make it an incentive and it's so bad. Like, for example, do you think any oil companies are going to go out of Venezuela? If they get their tankers are getting extradited, are getting taken over.
Yeah, it's because Trump needs the oil because America's
I don't
running
get.
out of
I'm
oil.
asking you about cause and consequence. If
Say
your
what?
government, let me ask you a question. If your government sends a couple frigates into the patrol areas, into the fishery areas, and blows a couple illegal fishing boats out of the water, do you think there's going to be a lot of illegal fishing anymore?
Oh, wait,
No.
let me
What has this
address
got
some
to
of
do
these
with the
comments.
environment? To be fair, fossil fuel, oil has a big part to
We are
do for the
inherently
destruction
being
of the
positive.
planet.
The definition of positive is characterized by or displaying a certain acceptance or affirmation, measured or moving forward in a direction or increase or progress, desirable, admirable, or beneficial. We are having positive conversations by every measure of the district.
We are.
People
You want to know
tend to
why?
argue. We are having a lively debate.
We're talking about for every barrier, a breakthrough. For every obstacle, a leap forward. It's about the will to do it.
Well, obviously, there's problems in the world. I care a lot about the environmental problems. Some people choose to deny them and keep on doing their destruction. It's called cognitive dissonance, denial, delusion, all that. I understand. The truth hurts sometimes. And you'd rather live in a fairy tale than in reality.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
But
How do you solve
what you're
it?
doing is you're misplacing.
You're dooming it. You're dooming it up. What about
in this aspect? We're agreeing with you.
We agree that there's an issue, that the environment should be a priority. But what is the issue? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and, like, for example,
the problem
I'm talking
is
about funding companies like that Oceanic Cleanup Project that is going around cleaning those massive, that has already cleaned up tons and tons of debris and trash out of the ocean, out of the Bahamas area, out of the coast of the U.S. Like, that's what the government should be funding.
I heard they're concentrating now on trying to reduce the demand for plastic, but it failed. The UN tried to do a reduction of plastic, but
you never can. Plastic's too efficient to contain things and distribute. It's not possible. That's not the issue. It's what do you do with the plastic, and what kind of laws do you have for illegal dumping? For example, the United States doesn't dump trash in the ocean. There's no trash coming from the coast of the U.S.
In Europe,
or the
we're better
river.
at recycling. But
No. Okay. So, but hold on. But who consumes the most plastic in the world? The U.S., right?
Not sure.
So why is it that we consume the most but have no trash going into the oceans? Why is that? Or minimal? I mean, there is some. I'm not saying there's none, like not one flake. No. What do they do? No, it's not just that. What do they do with it? You create an economic incentive to do something with it.
This is
companies in America. Have you heard of the biodegradable plastic bacteria, for example? That creates
they're
that
trying to use
creates
plants
petroleum
instead of
by eating
plants
oil.
and fungi and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And what does that do though? That means there's an economic incentive. When people can make money off something, they do it.
And
You
Yeah,
have
but
to
the
create a
problem is, right,
positive
the-
incentive
the
structure.
environmental problems, a lot of them
Orthodox,
cannot
right?
be solved
Positive
with
economic
money.
incentive structure, right?
You need to reduce the demand,
Yeah, no,
and
no,
that does not make you want to get money from
No,
it. That's
no,
the
no,
problem.
Demand
when
doesn't mean
you-
it. You're never going to. No, you are never going to decrease the demand of human beings to consume things. The
Well-
universe itself was created for human beings. Why would you deny human beings from consuming? It's
Here you-
about the responsibility of consuming.
nature
Yeah,
is
give me-
inherently consumption. Nature
Let
is
me give him
inherently
a
What do you
consumption.
think a rainforest is?
animals.
It's a smorgasbord. Everything's eating everything.
Let El Perro have.
Let
the
me
floor.
give
Let El
him
Perro
a
have the floor.
perfect example. California went to legislation to legislate out the use of plastic straws in paper wraps. They succeeded. And now they use paper straws in plastic wraps and still never address the issue that they put them fucking plastic pieces of straws into plastic cups and plastic lids with all kinds of plastic condiment containers. Never addressed any of that, just the plastic straw. And the result was they no longer use plastic straws in paper wraps. They use paper straws in plastic wraps. The plastic is not the issue.
Why would you
Well,
think
no,
the earth would
plastic is a
hate
big
plastic?
problem.
It's part
There's
of the earth.
microplastics. It's gonna
No,
make
but
us
the
all
plastic is
infertile
part of
public.
the earth, though, bro.
No,
Like,
but
why do you
I
think
heard
the
there's
earth has a
health-
problem with like? Let me ask you a question. Do you think in 6 billion years, when the tectonic shift occurs and the plates are crushing everything to diamonds, that plastic is going to be different than dirt or bone or anything else? It's going to be
No,
crushed to
there's
diamonds,
probably
right?
going to be fungi and bacteria that will evolve to break it down. Fair enough. I'm just
Okay.
saying that currently, I heard scientists saying that there is health effects to microplastics in our bodies, and that could be the cause for
Okay,
obesity.
so we're getting to the real issue here, and this is what I wanted to go to. And I'm not saying you're bad or anything. I'm actually agreeing with you.
And I
It's
hear
that
his
human
consent.
beings are concerned with our livable habitat. We don't give a fuck about what the plastic does to the earth. We give a fuck about what it does in relation to how we want to live.
Yeah, and you
Yes,
base
but-
your argument
yeah.
on hearsay, just like you did with probably.
You
You're
can
It's
solve
not
the
hearsay. No,
environmental
I don't think
problem.
he's doing anything wrong. But what I'm saying is, I was listening to one of Berkeley's linguistic professors about that. We see everything through paradigms, through how we look at the world, and we have thousands of those in our own brains. And as human beings, just as animals, we care about our happiness, our fruitfulness, our comfort. So we really could care less about the planet. And what that is just moral grandstanding. We should be honest and say, I don't give a fuck about what the planet. I want human
Yeah, but you
beings.
understand there's limits in nature. There's limits when
But
a
there's really
population
not.
goes
No, hold
high.
on. There's not,
It's the
though.
ecology.
That limit only matters
part
because
of
it's in
nature.
relation to us surviving. That
Okay,
limit
we're
only
part of
matters because
nature.
it's in relation to our selfishness of our innate survival, correct?
Yeah, I understand, but we are part of nature. We follow the
No,
ecological
we
laws.
aren't.
the
No.
natural laws.
We are nature's vicar. We are nature's controller. No, we are not. We are not part of
there is
nature.
side
Sir.
effects to what we do.
No, I
If you
get there's
troll-
cause and consequence, but we are not part of nature.
Well,
Animals
you
don't
think we're
fuck their
gods?
dead.
You think
Sir.
we're
Hold on.
gods or something?
Sir, you want me to give you an
Aliens
example?
or something?
Animals don't fuck their dead. Human beings do that shit. Okay?
No, animals do fucked up shit all the time, raping
No, but they
each
don't
other. all
fuck
that
their
stuff.
dead, right?
Some might. Monkeys
No,
might.
they don't. There's no right. No, for animals, necrosis and death releases a scent that human beings don't respond to. Okay, animals
I'm
move
just
away
saying-
from death. Human beings are fascinated by death. Our whole culture is about death. Okay, so no, we're in a whole different. No, you're looking at things again through a framework.
I'm just saying, the humans, hypothetically, if we were to grow the human population forever without any care for anything, we would destroy all wildlife. We would destroy all of our food.
But okay, but
So
what
there's
if
limits,
all
obviously.
my question would be this. What if we wipe out all wildlife, everything, but the human species flourishes beyond our wildest imagination? Isn't that okay then?
Is that possible though?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
no, I'm a beekeeper. You cannot grow crops without
But you're
bees.
talking hypotheticals. I'm giving you a hypothetical like you're presenting.
So you want to grow like lab
No,
grown
my
meat?
friend, hold on. Back up.
Like
Back
everything
up.
is a laboratory. We'll
My
have
friend,
artificial bacteria stuff.
I'm talking about. I'm giving you a hypothetical like you're giving. What
Wait,
you're
let,
giving.
let me correct something. You can grow things without bees. It becomes harder, but things do pollinate and germinate without bees.
What if we create an energy source that is limitless? What if we come up with fusion? What if we finally break the fusion and we don't need
So
natural
you want
sources
the world?
of energy?
You
No.
want
Let me ask you a question. No, hold on. I'm just asking.
Planet.
Can you answer that thing? What if we come through and we break through with fission technology or fusion?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with nuclear, all that. I agree with that.
No. But
just-
what is the difference between fission and fusion? One is limitless,
Fusion
right?
is
It's
the
self-sustaining.
stuff that the sun makes, and then
No, exactly. So it's
fission is
limitless. It's self-sustaining, right?
Yeah, but I don't think we'll be able to do fusion in
No, we
50 years' time,
can.
as
We
they
just
say.
don't. No, we will be able to. It's a matter of time.
Okay, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if we were to cover the whole world with humans and whatever,
No,
like
I'm
that
not even
stuff
saying.
in Star
But
Wars.
my friend, hold on. Answer the. I'm just asking. If we came up with fusion technology and we had that break, would it therefore be possible and maybe pragmatic to have, for example, a mega city where it's all humans condensed in a certain area that is totally sustainable, totally perfect for human beings, totally perfect for our way of life? You may have plants and things throughout the hallways and whatever, but you've got a Star Trek world. Why would therefore if that goal and that is achievable, wouldn't you say therefore any means to get there would be the right way, because that is the maximum fruitfulness of the human condition, where it's maximum fruitfulness for us, for our endeavors, for us emulating the good in humanity?
But would you have any space left for wildlife?
But what does that? No, Christ told us. Okay, what is the first science in the Bible? Naming.
Wait,
things,
so you're
right?
a Christian,
Taxonomy.
yeah? You're
Hold on.
Christian.
No, yeah, of course I am. Taxonomy.
Most of the people you're talking to on this panel are.
Like taxonomy. We have governance in philosophy over the inferior objects. Morality itself is a precondition to morality is intelligence, cause and consequence. The more intelligence you have, the more moral justification you have, because you understand the greater emphasis and the greater results of cause and consequence. That's why if you have a being that knows all things, it encompasses all morality. And therefore, if it dictates to you something, it cannot be questioned because it encompasses all knowledge, so it encompasses all morality.
That sounds like a crock of bullshit.
It's perfect logic, but...
So, speaking of, welcome to the show, Joe Cool. How are you doing today, brother?
Doing well. How you guys doing? Good, I hope. I want to ask, dude, what you're saying. If someone is perfectly moral, maybe I don't understand what that's possible. You know, if someone's perfectly moral, then you have to obey them.
Okay, you have to go back a step before that. Morality is intelligence is a precondition of morality, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if a being has all knowledge of all things, it's omniscient. Wouldn't it therefore encompass all morality
and all evil too?
Well, yeah. But it defines what good and evil is, because it has all knowledge of all things.
Agreed.
So how can we say what is evil? Like, that's my point. Yeah, if a being that has knowledge of all things tells you to kill a kid or kill whatever, you do it because it has knowledge of the past, the future, the present, and all tangential effects of every decision made.
Okay, so you're talking about you got to do what God tells you. Can't be talking about anything else, right?
Of course.
Well, we don't have free will, according to you.
But yeah, okay, overarching encompass free will. What does that mean? Of course, we have free will to decide. Just because it knows every choice we could possibly make, it therefore knows what choice we're going to make, correct? Because it knows every possible choice and every result of it. Jesus fucking Christ, the black comes up here and the whole panel's wrecked.
I don't see your All right, I'm gonna be
Calm
nice
down,
with you,
Jared.
man.
I'm just saying, we're having an intelligent
Hey.
conversation, and the stoner comes up.
Yes. Serious. I'm
That is
gonna
more
ask
accurate.
you. I'm gonna ask you, man. And I don't need your fucking impatience, man. I ain't got nothing to do other than shit on you today, motherfucker. I was asking.
Get
You're
a
saying,
job, sir.
You're saying my job is to shit on your squares, nigga.
Here
You
comes the
wanna
blood.
keep
Here it comes.
talking? Now,
Blacks are
I'm
violent.
trying to say something. Go ahead, say the racist shit. I love it.
Hey,
Make
hey,
OG
we
look
are
bad,
being-
nigga. Do it here.
We are doing positivity today, gentlemen. So let's move
Fucking so
past.
sick of you fucking racist fucks. Is fucking
Why is
goddamn.
racism wrong? Can you tell me why it would be wrong if I was?
Well, you know you're not that. I'd love
no,
to
but
tell you right.
Can you answer that question? Why it's wrong?
Probably could, but that was still a question on the floor, man.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking
Yeah,
you
I
if you're
asked you a
mad
question
about it.
too,
Can
and
you
I asked
tell
you
me
a
why you're
question
mad
too.
about it?
I'm not mad. I'm gonna give you shit because you deserve it. I'm gonna be your dad.
But why?
For a while.
But what? How do you determine I deserve something?
I'm that moral nigga that knows
But
right
how do
from
you
wrong.
determine
You better
your
follow
morality?
what I say.
Why does that mean you're moral? If you follow what you say, how do you define that as morality?
There was a question on the table already, man.
No,
I
that
was
wasn't
trying to
the question
explain
on the
my
table.
position. Sure, it was when you
No,
called
that
me a
wasn't.
black man and this and that. The black
No,
comes
you
up
came
here
at
with all
me
that
aggressive,
shit.
saying I don't need to hear your shit. I don't need to hear this. Why are you following? No,
What
you
shit
came
didn't
after
I
me
want to
first.
hear? The black man comes up here.
No, you
blah,
came
blah.
up here after
That's
me
why
first.
I said I didn't want to hear
And
your
then I
shit, right?
triggered you. And then
Well,
I
you can call
purposely
it
got you
triggered if you
riled up.
want, man. Ah, good. So you was being a racist intentionally.
No, I did it to show that
I love
those
it.
words affect you because
Hello,
you don't.
Lauren.
I'm still trying to talk, but nigga, I love fucking seeing you niggas show yourselves. I'd rather you
What
sit
does
up here
that
and
even
say
mean,
racist
dude?
shit.
But why does racism wrong? You're acting like you're trying to impose a moral justification. Like, look at
I'm
this
just
racist.
trying
Look how
to
bad
finish
that
a
is. Why is it
sentence
wrong?
from 5
You got
minutes
to
ago.
explain why anything's
I'm
wrong.
just trying to finish a sentence from 5 minutes ago. I'm not trying to educate you, nigga. I'm not your therapist. I
Okay,
was
well, but
asking
you
you a
asked me
question.
something, and I
I'll
answered
ask
you.
you. Did not, nigga. You
Yes,
said
I
something
did.
stupid. Here,
I did.
I'll
I
ask it
answered you in
again.
6 different ways.
I'll ask it again. No, you cut me off. I'll try it again. I
Okay,
was
go ahead.
asking you. You said a motherfucker must follow the moral guy who knows everything, so and so. I said that sounds illogical because that takes away his free will. Must he really follow him? That was the question I was trying to ask while you was calling me names.
Again, as I said, it doesn't negate anything that I said. If a being has the knowledge of every choice you could make,
Yeah.
what choice you make is still up to you. It just knows every possible choice and the result of every possible choice you could make.
Ah, you said you must do what he says.
And so
you
yes, you
changed it.
do. You do. That's what I'm trying to say. If you forgot the prerequisite. I said if a being told you to kill a kid, you would do it because it's inherently the right thing to do, because the being with knowledge of all things is inherently the defining arbiter of what moral is.
I didn't forget it. I wasn't here for that part. Again, I would dispute that you must obey it. God himself says, be kind to your neighbor. Christians don't obey it.
And they're what? And they have to what? Face a judgment by that being for not listening to it.
I agree, but you said they must follow him.
Yes,
guy, if
they
he knows
must.
all moral. Apparently
Yeah,
not, because they don't.
What
So they
what
apparently don't.
is the Bible? The cost of sin is death.
Let me mediate.
The
here,
cost of
gentlemen.
sin is death.
Let me mediate here because y'all are talking past one another.
I think
Joe,
I'm
what
just
Imperious is
understanding
saying
where
is
he's
if
going.
you have a creator that knows everything. Yeah, I was gonna say what he's saying is if you have a creator that knows everything, you should follow, not that you are literally forced. By
Now we're
biology
back
to
in
do what you're
line,
told, 'cause
and
it's
I
not a hive
think
mind.
that's
But
what he's
even
saying
if you,
at
but
this
remember,
point.
even if you should, even if you, the choice, there, it's a false choice. It really is. This is there is a free will that you in the moment as a mortal being get to choose, but the immortal being, the immortal soul doesn't have a choice. The price of sin is death. If you are judged as wrong, hell is not just fight. No, it is non-existent.
So you would agree, and I think we're on the
Because
same page
but
here.
hold on.
Go
The
ahead.
choice is either obey or non-existence.
Very good. Then we do have a choice, which is
Okay, but that's not really a choice, right? Because if you never existed, never did exist, never could exist, wiped out every effect of your existence in history, you didn't. That's not a choice.
And
That's
now
what I'm
you're
trying to say.
talking
When you
weird. You're just,
no, I'm
I
not,
think you're
because
just
what
covering
happens at
up
the end
now.
of time? The final judgment, correct?
Oh, stop it. You know I have a choice of what cereal
No,
I
we
get today.
don't. No. We have a physical choice.
So we do have choice.
For an organic being, yes, in our perception.
Okay, that's all I was
Joe,
disputing.
okay, I never argued. Joe, do we see time as time is actual?
No, I think we believe
Okay,
it's
because
linear.
we see
Go
time
ahead.
as a mortal being, right? We can
Agreed.
only perceive in our mortal skins in this meat suit, right?
Agreed.
Okay. God sees time as one moment. Everything is in the same, there is no past, future, present.
I would agree with you so far, but
And
I'm
so
not
it's a
sure how
different
this going to
that's
kill
what I'm
free
trying to say.
will.
If we're talking an organic being, yes, I've never argued that we don't have free will as an organic being. I was arguing that in a metaphysical sense, in a sense to God, there's no such thing as free will, because no matter what choice we make, he knows the outcome of all possible choices that
I
could be
don't
made.
think that eliminates free will. Just
No,
because,
not
hold on, you've been talking a bit. Just because, let's say I'm God or somebody like that who has the ability to know a thing, and I can look down and see who's going to win the race and what decisions he made in the left turn. It doesn't mean because I know the outcome, I made him do it. Doesn't mean he didn't have free will to do it. I just know the outcome and know what he
no,
was
as
going to
I
do before
said,
he did.
yes, that is an
Okay.
organic, biological aspect of choice, because we see time as a river back and forth. So
Agreed.
you have, that is a paradigm of choice itself.
We agree so
When
far,
you're
but we have choice so far.
what if there's a place where time doesn't exist?
I don't believe time exists in periods.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. If there's a place where time doesn't exist, choice doesn't exist. Get what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Or was I'm trying to
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta shift it a bit. If there's a place where time doesn't exist, choice doesn't exist. That's a much better shit
Okay,
to ponder.
I recalculated. I'm apologize if I didn't explain it
No,
correctly.
we agree. All right, you want to bring them everybody
ahead.
back
Yeah,
up
go
here?
ahead.
No, I wasn't trying to argue. I was just trying to clarify some shit, man. That's all.
No, I got you. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ortho, bring him back up.
Positivity, increase human communication, coming together, finding common ground. That's what we're
It
about
works.
here.
Sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers wrestle a little bit.
Yeah, dude, we're men.
And work shit out.
Dude, men only.
Not all positivity is part of the cult of niceness and unicorn and rainbows.
No, but I
Sometimes
mean, how did you
positivity is
become
stopping
friends
a
with most of your
motherfucker at the
friends?
top.
Didn't you go to Pee Wee and hit them when you're 8 and you do the running where you have to get up off the ground and charge at each other? You're like a little midget with giant heads. You just hit each other. I mean, that's how you meet most of your friends. I met most of my friends in wrestling camp, Pee Wee football, little basketball camps at the high school. The coaches put on for the kids in the summer camp. You know
I'll
what I
go
mean?
you one further. You won't be friends with a motherfucker for a long time until you go through that process and figure it out. Because you're pussyfooting around, you can be friends with a motherfucker for 2 years, and then when you step on that eggshell, it's best to get them eggshells out the way.
Out of the
20
way.
years
Well, yeah.
down, that's still your friend because he'll put up with your shit and you put up with
Yeah,
his.
I mean, dude, because dude, like, men have to in the beginning have to size each other up to know that you can respect the other guy. And if the guy doesn't stand by what they say they're gonna do, or doesn't stand up to you when you're like testing it, like, hey, who is this guy? Like, then you know that ain't a fucking guy. That's not someone you want around.
Yep.
The testing, and that. See, women test women in other ways. Women test women in their ways. Men test men, and we just do it in a direct physical way. Men do it in
get a little lippy.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. We talk shit. We challenge. It doesn't even. A lot of the times, you see it in team sports. We're like, dude. Like I remember in practice sometimes, like a linebacker will hit a wide receiver just a little too hard, and the backs and receivers will go after the linebacking core, and the linebacking core will go after, and they'll start pushing and shoving. But then afterwards, they're smacking hands, going, yeah, let's go, let's get back to it, and then they go twice as hard after. Like, that's just how males are, especially normal males with like higher end testosterone. Now that's a whole different issue where most men now have a low testosterone issue, and they're completely
you understand why we fight is because there's only one true way to do things in life, and we're all trying to find that one true way, and we're all got our different ways to do it, and that's the best way. I think is the scientific method.
No, men value order and hierarchy, and then things work when there's a defined hierarchy, when everyone knows who's the top, who's the second, who's the third.
I hate to admit that, but he might have some truth.
It's true. I mean, in teams, you have the captain, then you have the vice captain. And then you have the guy who's
Yeah,
the
but
hard ass on the
the
team that
problem-
make that in the
Why
locker
do you
room.
need? Why do you need a
The
God?
only-
Why can't it just be truth itself?
Because
Because
it's how
truth is
humanity-
inherent in a being.
And
Because
truth
truth
would
can
be
only
God.
be truth through a defined arbiter, through a perfect arbitration. How do you know truth? Truth is a matter. What did Obi-Wan
Sorry, I
say?
don't understand what that
Hold on,
means.
no,
What
but
does
hold on. What did
arbitration
Obi-Wan
mean?
saying that
I'm a
truth is
noob here.
subjective to everyone but God.
Truth is objective to every being through its own experience, unless it's from the experience of a being that knows all things. Then it's objective.
All right, excuse me 1 minute. I'm a mute.
Like, am I right, dude? It doesn't have to be
Well,
for it to be
wait,
truth to be actual
scientists
truth.
Well,
disagree
it
on
has
you
this.
said, okay, hold on. Let me correct that. You said objective. I'm assuming you meant subjective, right, Imperius?
No,
It's
to have it, no,
no. It's subjective.
it's
for each and
subjective
every-
unless it's defined by a being
Okay, you
that has
said
the knowledge
you
of
said
all
objective.
things.
You said
And
it's-
then
you
it
said
becomes objective because only a being that could know all things can make an objective definition of what truth is. Because there's no absolute truth, because we will never know everything, but God
Yeah,
does know
okay.
everything.
Okay, so I agree with you. I agree with you there. I just got confused because you said objective.
Maybe I
for-
switched it up. I'm sorry. Maybe
Oh,
I
no,
switched
no.
objective and subjective up. I apologize, but but
But you
what I'm
just
saying is
all you said was objective. The whole
okay.
thing.
Oh yeah,
Objective,
that's what I'm saying.
subjective,
Okay, so I said objective.
I
twice,
get
my
you
bad.
now. I just got
But
confused.
it is subjective
Yeah,
unless
so-
it is defined by a source that knows all things, that can define something as good or bad, right or wrong, because it knows the cause and effect and infinite effects of all infinite effects ad infinitum.
Meaning, for
Well, I don't
instance, let's say I go out and do something what appears bad to you. Joe was out there and he kicked that kid in the leg. He's an evil fuck, and that's the truth as far as you're concerned. Well, Joe knew that the guy had a cramp, or that this is how you reset his leg, and ad infinitum with more logic would appear true.
Even worse, even more tangential than that. What if the guy kicking the kid in the leg later makes it so that kid was running in his track meet, broke his leg, and then later on had to overcome that and became a world champion gold medalist track sprinter later in his life?
Right.
Yeah,
You can never like.
yeah, no, that's high level, but like I get what you're saying because it's all about perspective.
Yeah,
And
pretty much. I
Imperius is
understand
It's
what
saying
greater
the
than that.
only-
It's knowing for certainty every single possible
Well, the only
outcome of
way
every.
you can know is through experience and perspective, and what you're
And
saying is
what
God
about
is
a
the
being?
one-
And
is
that's
the individual.
Wait.
Exactly.
Y'all
Has
talking about
all
wait.
of the
If I can, you guys are talking a little bit different. OG is talking, not OG. Imperius is talking about the guy who knows all. And with you, OG, what you're talking about is absolutely perspectives. All our truths will vary because we don't have the
because
tools
we
and
don't have the
utensils to
knowledge of
grasp what
something
truth
that has
is.
everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's what I'm saying. God has
That's why
all
we're
of
all
the
biased.
perspective.
That's
Like
why we're
God
all
has
biased
of
on
the
everything.
perspective and all of
Imperius,
the
can
experience.
somebody finish a damn sentence?
Especially the host, Imperius.
Well, that's the thing. This is what I'm picking up, right? So God is the one with all of the experience and all of this perspective at once. We as individuals, as lesser
Will
beings,
fall
only
short.
have our
Yes.
perspective.
Very good.
and
Even
our-
better. Even better. I like
As
that you
organic
narrowed
beings,
that.
our brain can only process a certain amount of information, retain a certain amount of information.
Thank you for coming, El Perro.
Bye, Perro.
If you left accidentally, you can come back up if you want.
But because how can we possibly know if kicking a kid in a leg 1,000 years ago or 1,000 years later was the reason that it prevented a civil war?
That his great granddad was so proud
Yeah,
of him for
1,000
winning that
years later, not even great
marathon that
granddad.
he joined. Yeah, great. Right.
What about 1,000 great grandkids later? You know what I mean?
Right. You know,
Let alone
so,
1,000,000 years, 1,000,000,000
Yes.
years later. It's the
Yes.
movie The Butterfly Effect. It's the chaos effect. It's impossible. And then intertwine that with the visualization paradox of molecular physics, which when anything is witnessed, it
changes
stops
everything.
acting
Just
how
by
it naturally acts.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is why knowledge is the idea of human beings knowing everything is impossible.
It's nonsense, man. It's like being,
Yeah, but how do you know? How do you know for sure? Then God is real behind it all.
Because there cannot be existence from non-existence. No, there cannot be non-existence. There cannot be
logical,
Yeah, but
nothing.
how do you know
Something
if the
cannot
universe
come
has
from
been here
nothing.
forever? The Big
There
Bang.
is no-
They don't take physicists
But
say
again,
that the
but
Big
then
Bang.
again, but then again. So you're going to go back to time again.
You went out.
Okay, so that in
Or maybe he
itself
fell off.
supports my point. Okay, if time, we see
God
time
dog
as
it, I
linear
can't hear
back and
Gary's
forth. If
weird.
you're saying something ever existed and ever, that means you're looking at a different temporal paradox or a different temporal reality than the universe we're in now, right? Is that a
Sorry,
different
I'm
temporal
not very.
paradigm?
Oh, I'm not
If the
too good with
universe
this
always,
science
because
stuff.
we know for a fact it didn't always exist, right?
Say that again.
We know for a fact that this universe didn't always exist, correct? Whether it's 13 billion, 20 billion, 50
Yes,
billion, 100
obviously.
billion,
Yeah,
100 trillion,
they say
it
that it
had
was
a
a
beginning and
tiny
an end.
ball.
But we
But
we
what
know that
happened
this
before
universe
the
had a
ball? We don't know. We don't know
okay,
what happened before the ball.
okay, but before the ball still predates time,
Yeah,
right?
Are both of
it's
those
it,
you, Joe?
it's me. It's me. Yeah.
Okay.
My phone acting weird. I hope you
So
know
you're
which one is
asking an
which.
infinite reductive
Thank
question. Hold
you,
on.
thank
You're
you, Lawrence. Hail to the great and mighty Ortho Bro. He has Imperius finally convinced Chuck to struggle with him and be his dad. Okay, I don't know what that means.
I think Chuck
Thank
needs
you,
to, I
Lawrence.
want Chuck to send me a Christmas card of him. I think that'd be cute.
You would.
I know, Chuck. I love you, dude. Chuck, Chuck, I did find that little video that what's his name, Landry made of you. That video is like Chuck, 12-inch rod. Like that was a pretty funny video, Chuck.
Yes, it was.
And it even had you beating up on me. I was the punching bag. Did you see that?
No, I
All
didn't
right,
see
gentlemen.
that one.
All right, gentlemen. I do have to go take Tucker OUT, and it has been an awesome stream. If nobody's streaming a little later tonight, I will come back.
Are you
But
gonna
I
watch
wanna
the? Are
thank
you gonna
you
watch
both.
a Tate fight tonight or no?
No.
No, I don't. I didn't
Who's
plan on
fighting?
Andrew Tate. We could go for 2 for
Literally?
2 though.
Wait, where? Who is he fighting?
He's fighting an actual. I forgot what the guy's name.
He
He's
ain't
fighting
fought
like
in years, right?
he's fighting a boxer. Yeah. But it's kind of like, dude. I did enjoy seeing Jake Paul get his jaw broken in 2 places yesterday. Though that was pretty. That was.
I
Pretty
missed that. I gotta find
I
that.
missed
that
it.
was pretty fantastic. Like he fought an actual boxer. Like what I mean. This guy. People forget. Like Joshua was a Olympic gold medalist in boxing.
That's what he fought. Joshua Jones, I think.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Yeah, he
Yeah,
crazy. That dude hit like a horse.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
he's 6'6",
Base.
250, dude. He's
Let's get some
awesome.
final thoughts in here.
Anyway, final
Sean,
thoughts. You're all gay. The chat is
Joe,
gay,
Sean?
and I'm out of here.
Easy.
All right,
It's
Imperius.
great.
Go
ahead.
All right, see ya. Thanks for having me. Bye.
You're welcome, Sean. All right, Joe. You
Yeah, we cut out and let you say goodbye to your buddies. Good to see you, man. You guys be easy.
Good to see you, Joe. As always, love it when you come up. I was gonna end it until you got here, and then when you got here, I was like, let's keep going because Joe is here. Chuck, do you got any final thoughts?
No, just everybody be good today. If nobody's told you they loved you today, just remember, I love you.
Thank you, Chuck. You can stay in the background. We can talk after the stream if you want, or we can talk in Discord.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
But I'm going to take, I'm going to take Tucker out so we can chill afterwards. All right, everybody. Then there was one. I just want to say I love you all. I like this take on positivity. We will be doing more positivity streams. Tomorrow we're going to have a Christian stream where we talk about the Bible, discuss the Bible. You can come in and have questions, but debate and argumentation is not for that stream. We can do that some other day. It's going to be back to the rules of the Bible study. That is for Christians, and everyone is welcome. But again, debate is not the word of the day for Sunday. So please only join if you have positive things you want to say and legitimate questions and concern. And if you do want to counter signal, that is still allowed. But debate is not the word of the day for Sunday. I will say again, debate is not the word of the day. Everyone is welcome to the Bible study. But I want to say I love you all. I appreciate you all. We will be having more positive streams. I'm working on some gaming stuff. I did get some good news. Let me bring Chuck back so I can tell him this funny story. Chuck, so
Yes, sir.
The laptop that FedEx
disappeared.
Yeah, it came in the mail yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I reached out to the company and everything. Apparently, because of the situation I'm in, they just let me keep it.
Really?
I talked to Best Buy. I talked to most of them. Best Buy said that they had already gotten their money, that because of the wait, they assumed someone stole it, and since it didn't really matter, because it was a third-party sale anyway. There was a bunch of other stuff, and the other company did not the actual third party did not reach out to me because I messaged them. I'm not paying to send it back. If they want it back, I'll send it back.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying.
Yeah.
Like, I'll box this thing back up and send it back.
I
But I'm
wouldn't
gonna
hold
use
your
it until they tell me
breath.
they want it back. But I got it. It's awesome at playing games. And I have my backup that I was using the other day. It's kind of cool. If they say they want it back, I'll send it back to them. No problems. I did get a refund for it. But I find it absolutely hilarious because even they, according to Best Buy, even they said they thought it was stolen.
Well, just be prepared for a recharge is all I'm saying to your account. I've seen it happen both ways, so I'm not sure. They just might write it off. You never know.
Like I said, I don't know what the third party is going to do. Best Buy just basically told me not to worry about it.
Well, that's who you bought it through.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, what do you want me to do? Because this came in the mail like 4 days after I got my refund. We all assumed it was stolen because I've been waiting on it for almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
only time will tell, my friend.
So, well, I mean, if they want it back, like I said, they can pay for the shipping. I'll box it back up. I kept all the original packaging. I'll box it back up and send it to them because it is only fair. But I'm going to use it until otherwise. That way I can do everything I wanted to do, including the learning how to do the 3D models for that thing I was working on.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean, like I said, I'm an honest man. I will send it back if they want it back. They've been told that I have it. So.
All right.
That is it. So it is pretty awesome, and I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? You come in the mail? That's crazy. Like, and it's because it's weird because FedEx never even reached out to Best Buy, me, or the company I bought it from.
That's
like
not
FedEx
surprising.
was supposed to tell us when they found it. Yeah, it's crazy. But let me finish saying my goodbyes to the audience, and I'll pop back in. All right, but because of that situation that y'all just heard, more gaming content will come along. I will be playing multiplayer with some people because before I got the laptop set up, because I thought it was going to be bricked. I'm going to be real. I thought the company was going to brick it, so I didn't even think it was going to work. But Grumple invited me to play some games. I was working on the GoFundMe stuff. Miss Cynthia is making the video for me, and once I get the video from Miss Cynthia, I'll put everything together, launch the GoFundMe, do that stream. But I had told Grumple that I didn't have a computer to play because, like I said, I thought this thing was going to be bricked. I didn't think it was going to work because they can do that on electronics nowadays. They can just render them completely useless for whatever reason. But so like as of right now, that's been a good thing of luck. Like I said, if the company wants it back, I'll send it back to them. But as it stands right now, most of my issues, like it's not the best GPU and but I'm thankful for what I have and what I have available, and I can do most of everything that I need to be doing. So that's kind of awesome, and I'm extremely thankful and happy about it. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate all of you watching. If you like the positivity streams, please consider donating to the Help OG Not Be Poor Fund, to the Cashapp and Ko-fi. And 1 second, I forgot completely. We did have a Ko-fi today, and I don't know if the person would like to be recognized. But somebody did send me some money on Ko-fi today. Let me get it pulled up real quick. And if it's somebody I know, and I know that they don't want to be recognized, we won't recognize them. But if it is a random stranger or somebody who is a random guest, I will say my thank yous on here in public. So give me 1 second, Because there are some people that give that don't want to be recognized, that just give, and they're cool like that. But let's see here. Let's see here. So this is from Miss Vividness. She says, "Hey OG, a little something to help you, Tucker, and your family out. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby." So thank you very much, Vividness. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. Getting help in times of need. So I appreciate that. Tucker also appreciates it. And I appreciate your appreciation. No, it did not. Because I don't cam up. I told you, I'm ugly. Do you look like the guy from Ram Jam? Because that's what I think of you in my mind. I am whatever you think of me. Tootie can confirm and Bumpkin can confirm. I look like a chunky Jesus with strong facial features and long flowing hair and a very massive beard. And that's all you'll get out of me. But again, I love you all and I appreciate you all. Thank you, Miss Vividness, for the Ko-fi, and for all of you who watch and support me. I appreciate all of you and I love all of you. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. Thank you for contributing to the positivity. And not lost, all of the leftist bros, thank you for coming and being a not a dissident, but a opposing viewpoint. That way we are not in an echo chamber. I am actually very appreciative for you guys, because an echo chamber is a stagnant mind, and a stagnant mind is death. So I appreciate you guys a lot as well for coming up and showing out. Most of y'all are always welcome. The guys Sean and Not Lost, they are completely reasonable leftists, unlike other people who are just like straight up fucking crazy people. And we appreciate straight up honest good people over here, regardless of ideology. This is for everybody. And now I'm just rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Good night. Love you all. Y'all be safe. Gary, and you came in at the last moment, but I'm gonna take Tucker OUT. He's at my legs. Winking the gun. We will be streaming again tonight, probably, if nobody's live, but you can definitely catch us tomorrow. But again, love you guys. Rambling. Y'all have a good one.
Starlight outlaw, cosmic soldier, give me space.